Weekend Update with Norm Macdonald.
Thank you. I'm Norm Macdonald, and now the fake news. Yesterday, Simpson trial judge Lance Ito allowed that mystery envelope to be opened, and it appears Simpson may already have won $10 million. Haitian General Raoul Cedras, who will be stepping down in 2 weeks, held a hasty garage sale of some knickknacks he'd acquired while in office. Big fans of the Haitian strongman, are you? Another breakthrough in the Middle East. Arab and Israeli negotiators working through the night accidentally resolved the baseball strike. And filmmaker Ken Burns announced that following his baseball series, his next documentary project will be a 12-hour, 8-part history of the dorky haircut. Former First Lady Barbara Bush published her memoirs this month. Readers were shocked by her revelation that while living at the White House, she had sex with former President George Bush. And now, with the commentary, here is Weekend Update correspondent Laura Keitlinger. Laura?
Thanks, Norm. You know, I think it's important to stop and pay attention to what life can teach you. I was fired from a job recently, and I think whenever something ends in your life, whether it be a relationship or a job, there's always a message, and that is, you're no good. No one needs you. Now, what surprised me most about getting fired was that everyone said the same thing to console me. You know, everything happens for a reason. And as trite as that sounds, I think it's better to hear it out loud, because when you hear it in your own head, it sounds like, you know, anything can happen with a razor. Now, you can't anticipate a life lesson. It just happens to you. I was driving through Pennsylvania, and I stopped at a gas station. There were about 8 cars waiting for service, so I went into the gas station to see what the heck was going on, and there was shattered glass everywhere and an empty cash register on the floor. Finally, I found the attendant in the bathroom stall. His arms and legs were tied to the back of the toilet. He had an oily rag stuffed in his mouth and a bullet through the back of his head. And I said to myself, my God, how could he do that to himself? His business was booming. And then I realized the attendant had a fear of success. And that was a lesson that I needed to learn. You know, 2 months ago, a man in Spain had a religious experience. He saw the hand of the statue of the Jesus bleeding. And a week later, a girl in Italy saw the Virgin Mary crying. And I'm happy to tell you I've had a religious experience myself. I was at the Bob's Big Boy in Paramus, New Jersey. And I actually saw liquid rust coming out of the butt of the Big Boy icon. And when it happens to you, it's like, well, all right, there's something out there. And doggone it, that's my point. There is something out there. It's all there for us. All we have to do is see it.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Laura Keitlinger. Scientists in Africa have discovered the oldest known human ancestor, born 4.4 million years ago. Although unearthed only days ago, he is already engaged to Anna Nicole Smith. The first deaf Miss America, Heather Whitestone, was crowned last week in Atlantic City. Although completely deaf, she is an expert lip reader. Personally, I don't think she's that pretty, you know. Not my cup of tea. Postal authorities removed a cigarette from a photo of blues artist Robert Johnson to help dignify the musician in a new stamp they've issued in his honor. This isn't the first time the post office has altered a photograph. In fact, the original photo used on the Elvis stamp was based on this photo. King enjoying a hoagie. A recent consumer poll showed that Hershey is America's favorite company, while Philip Morris is America's least favorite. In the middle, the company that makes chocolate cigarettes. Right in the middle, a South African professor claims that the Shroud of Turin was created in the Middle Ages using techniques similar to photography. Backing up his claim is the recent unearthing of a 2,000-year-old your face on a shroud concession booth. Last month, an 80-year-old Albuquerque woman was awarded over $2 million in damages from Macdonald's after she spilled some of their coffee in her lap and suffered severe burns. As a result, Macdonald's this week has put a warning label on its coffee cups that read, "Caution, do you think you can manage to avoid pouring it directly on your crotch this time, you senile old hag? Think you can manage that, huh?" And the Shawshank Redemption picked up the New York Film Festival's coveted award for the stupidest movie title. And now, here with this summer's concert reviews is our very own rock and roll correspondent, Gil Graham. Gil, welcome.
Thanks, Norm. Well, it was a long summer, so let's dispense with the preliminaries and get to the rock and roll. June 17th, Toronto's Exhibition Stadium. That's right, the Rolling Stones are back. And yours truly had the best seats in the house. I had a date, but she pulled the old no-show. So I walked over to a kick-ass tailgate party to see if anyone wanted the extra ticket. Well, it turns out they wanted both tickets. They beat me without mercy for what seemed like an eternity. I woke up 2 hours later in a parking lot dumpster, just in time to hear the Stones' rockin' encore, Jumpin' Jack Flash. The acoustics in the dumpster were phenomenal. All I could hear was the bass, but take it from me, that new bass player can slap a funky one. So all you Stones fans out there, I advise you to do the Harlem Shuffle to your nearest ticket master. July 8th, Giant Stadium. Hell freezes over, the Eagles reunite. I did not attend this concert. I gave my tickets to two 14-year-old girls who promised to send me $2,000. Ladies, I'm still waiting for my money. August 1st, Foxborough Stadium, Pink Floyd, Ready to Rock. Bought tickets from a scalper. Turned out to be stubs from a Molly Hatchet concert in 1974. I pointed out the scalper's mistake and he threw me down a flight of stairs. Next stop, August 14th, Socrates, New York. That's right, folks, Woodstock 2. It was a celebration of peace, love, and understanding. Except for this one guy. He snatched my backstage passes and locked me inside a porta potty. Then he tipped it over and just my luck, it landed door side down. There was no getting out. But that didn't prevent me from rocking out to Blind Melon as I enjoyed my own private mosh pit. Aerosmith was just about to go on when I felt the porta potty start to move. I realized I was sliding down a mud-slicked hill just before the porta potty slammed into a barbecue and caught fire. I could hear Joe Perry wailing away on Sweet Emotion as I struggled to free myself from my flaming tomb. When I woke up in the hospital, I said to myself, actually, I thought to myself, since my lips were burnt shut, Woodstock once every 25 years? Count me in. Back to you, Norman. In the words of the Stones, I know it's only rock and roll, but I like it. All right, David.
Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler. Gil Graham. I'm sorry, Gil Graham. Looks a bit like Adam Sandler. Take off that wig and the funny shirt, you know. Dead ringer for Sandler. In Washington, a 410-pound convicted killer is fighting his execution on constitutional grounds. He claims that if he is hanged, his head will be completely torn from his body, which would amount to cruel and unusual punishment. Now, having your head completely torn from your body is cruel, I'll grant you, but is it really that unusual? Well, David Hasselhoff is a huge rock star in Germany, where his latest album sold 5 million copies this week, which once again proves my theory: Germans love David Hasselhoff. A truck full of chickens overturned on the Long Island Expressway yesterday. Hundreds of chickens crossed the road, but nobody's been able to figure out why. And that's all for now. Good night and good luck.
Weekend Update with Norm Macdonald.
Hi, I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the news. Potential jurors for the O.J. Simpson case were asked to fill out a 75-page jury questionnaire this week. In the entire state of California, only one person got a perfect score. Chow Ming Wu, who, after the trial, plans to attend Caltech. O.J. Simpson's new fitness video was released this week, and hitting the shelves next week, Simpson's newest video, Dorf on Stocking. The crowd is torn. Tourism in India has taken a dramatic drop recently. The State Bureau of Tourism has two theories. One, airfares have gone up slightly in the past year, causing a decrease in travel worldwide. And two, the plague. In New York this week, Sammy the Bull Gravano was sentenced to just 5 years in prison for committing 19 murders. You better be careful, though, because New York has just passed a tough new law. 20 strikes and you're out. 4 Pittsburgh children were found in a house strewn with garbage and human waste after they'd been abandoned by their parents for 2 weeks. The couple was charged with child endangerment, but to their credit, they did bring the children a present. A T-shirt that reads, "My parents left me for 2 weeks in a house full of human waste, and all I got was this lousy T-shirt." A comet hit the planet Jupiter last July, and scientists now say the dark scars have almost completely disappeared. But the emotional scars will be there for a long, long time. Ford this week recalled 2 models of cars, saying that they might explode during refueling. At Ford, quality is job 1, and job 2, making your car explode. In sports, the National Hockey League Board of Governors rejected a late Thursday proposal by the players, clearing the way for Commissioner Gary Bettman to postpone the start of the upcoming season. Now, here with a detailed analysis is Saturday Night Live hockey correspondent and hockey fan, Mike Myers.
Thank you. Thanks, Norm. Thanks, Norm. It's stupid. It's just so stupid. Back to you, Norm.
Mike Myers with a detailed analysis. What's it like to lose $35 million? Just ask Dale Sturdivant of Honesdale, Pennsylvania. That's how much he lost this week at a local convenience store when he failed to guess any of the 6 winning numbers in the state's Pick 6 lottery. When reached for comment by Weekend Update, Sturdivant replied, "Why are you making such a big deal out of this? I bought a $3 lotto ticket. It didn't win. Why can't you leave me alone?" Now with more on that hockey postponement, here is Weekend Update correspondent Tim Meadows. Tim.
Thank you. Thank you. The baseball strike I can deal with, but when it comes to hockey, nobody, and I mean nobody, is a bigger fan than me. In fact, around here, my nickname is Little Hockey. Watch this. Hey, guys.
Hey, Little Hockey.
See? What am I supposed to do now that there is no hockey? Watch basketball? No, I'm sorry, it's not gonna happen. But forget about me. What about African American kids all over the country? They need their heroes. If an African American kid can't look up to a Mario Lemieux or Marc Messier or Mario Abu or Guy Carbonneau or Patrick Roy, who can he look up to? I swear to God, there are only a few things that really get to Tim Meadows. Racism, sexism, and no hockey. So come on, you owners and players, I need my hockey. Like I need air or water or food or clothing or whatever. You don't want to make me mad, because when I get mad, I get stomach pains. Back to you, Norm.
Tim Little Hockey Meadows. Christy Brinkley told reporters this week that her marriage to Billy Joel was over long before their divorce. The key moment, she said, came when she realized that she was Christy Brinkley and that she was married to Billy Joel. This week, Disney released a new CD featuring a rapping Mickey Mouse. To avoid controversy, the CD will not include the controversial hit single, Cat Killer. And in a related story, this week marked the 5,000th performance of the Broadway musical Cats. It also marked the 5,000th time a guy turned to his wife and said, "What the hell is this?" The Food and Drug Administration announced today that while 1 ounce of Special K with 4 ounces of milk is a good dietary source of protein, 1 ounce of Special K with 5 ounces of milk is deadly poison. 70% of diners polled this week said there should be no smoking in restaurants. And 80% of diners said that restaurants should give away their food for free. Fashion designer Giorgio Armani confessed last week to bribing Italian tax officials. He was sentenced to 6 months of wearing brown shoes with a blue suit. And now, with a look back at the week in review, is new update correspondent, Cool Guy. Cool Guy. Hey, Cool Guy, you could have hurt someone by flicking your cigarette into the crowd like that. Oh, I see, yeah. You're too cool to care, is that it? Yeah. Now, I heard you saw the movie Terminal Velocity this week. How'd you like that? Yeah, I felt the same way. So, how does Natasha Kinski look? Pretty hot, huh? Yeah. Yeah, but how's her acting? Now, Cool Guy, what about that Charlie Sheen? I hear he's off the sauce now. Oh. Geez, I heard he was. So how does he look in the movie? Oh, you know he's here tonight. No, he's not. But that's funny when I trick you there, isn't it, Cool Guy? So let me ask you, Cool Guy, is this the whole joke? I mean, you just do this, you talk and you don't talk and you make funny faces? Is that the whole idea? Oh, okay, back to me. So, listen, off the record, do you think by acting cool up here you may trick some girls into thinking you're cool in real life and possibly score with them?
Possibly.
I got you. If it happens, right? I hear that. All right, Cool Guy, ladies and gentlemen. Cool Guy. Oh, you know what's great about Cool Guy? He's cool. Visitors to New York's Times Square this winter are in for a bit of a surprise. Crazy people will be shooting at them. Well, David Hasselhoff is a huge star in Germany, where his series Baywatch celebrated its 100th straight week as the nation's top TV show, which once again proves my old theory: Germans love David Hasselhoff. And finally, John Wayne Bobbitt is going to be an adult film star. He has been signed to play himself in the John Wayne Bobbitt story. The part of his severed penis will be portrayed by Pauly Shore. And that's all for now. Good night and good luck. Thanks, I'm Norm Macdonald. This is the news. The world was stunned this week when Yasser Arafat was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Actually, it's not that remarkable when you consider this year's other nominees: Raul Cedras, Mickey Rourke, and the guy who stabbed Monica Seles. Microsoft founder Bill Gates topped Forbes magazine's list of the wealthiest Americans this week, just beating out the #2 finisher, Mr. Monopoly. It was a big week for the old fella, who also placed second in a beauty contest, picking up a cool $10. In a related story, 3 of Hollywood's most powerful men, David Geffen, Steven Spielberg, and Jeffrey Katzenberg, joined forces last week to form their own movie studio. When asked what sort of films we could expect from them, the trio replied, "Mostly pornos." That's good news. All right. This week, Saddam Hussein pulled his troops back from the Kuwaiti border after realizing that a second invasion might hurt his chances for a Nobel Peace Prize. On Wall Street last week, trading was very heavy on the big board. Why? Because it's a big board. What are you, nuts? According to retailers, the most popular Halloween mask this year is O.J. Simpson. And the most popular Halloween greeting is, "I'll kill you and that guy who's bringing over your glasses," or treat. By the way, you can now purchase a bronze statue of the Juice for only $3,395. And for an even $5,000, you can buy one that Al Cowlings has kissed the ass of. Well, if it weren't for the baseball strike, the World Series would be starting this coming week. Here now with a commentary is Weekend Update correspondent Chris Farley. Chris.
Thanks, Norm.
Hey, buddy.
Thank you, Norm. Well, it's been almost 10 weeks since the players went on strike and took baseball with them. And all I can say is, well, I miss the grand old game. Because to me, baseball isn't about the score or who beats who. It's about going out to the ballpark on a sunny day, drinking a few beers, climbing over the fence out onto the field, and running around wild and free. Until the security guards come and beat the holy bejesus out of me. Sometimes I dash across the outfield. Sometimes I run around the bases and try to kiss the players. Doesn't matter which. It's all part of the game. My favorite baseball memory? That's easy. 1978 World Series. Reggie Jackson's at the plate. The count's 2-0. The call's for a fastball. I'm naked, running around somewhere behind second base. 70,000 people shout as one, "Get him off the field! He's wrecking the game!" And as I'm dragged from the field, past the Yankee dugout, Bucky Dent points right at me and says, "That pathetic idiot. That sad, pathetic idiot." Some people say that baseball's a metaphor for life, but to me, well, baseball's just baseball. Just a bat, a ball, 2 teams of, I believe, 5 to 10 players each. And I think there's something called innings. That and fences so low and stadium ushers so much smaller than me that it's a joke. Come back soon, baseball. Come back soon.
All right. Chris Farley, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Norm. Hey, buddy. That was great. Chris Farley. Yoko Ono donated some John Lennon memorabilia to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this week. The items include his Sgt. Pepper uniform, an electric guitar he used at Shea Stadium, and the original handwritten lyrics to several songs that she ruined. New York City police charged this week that the 90-year-old mother of actor Peter Falk was systematically bilked out of $3 million in cash, jewels, and antiques by a con man. Peter Falk's mother, huh? Robbed? That sounds like a job for Matlock. Yeah. According to an obscure 14th century law, British Army Captain James Hewitt could be hanged for having an affair with Princess Diana. The punishment for having sex with Princess Diana is death. The punishment for having sex with Princess Anne is having sex with Princess Anne. Playboy founder Hugh Hefner recently attended his high school reunion. It was wonderful to see all my old friends, he said, but still it's nice to get back home to a house full of beautiful, naked 18-year-old women. And now here, with the weekend weather, two guys from a religious cult. Hey.
The hungry claw of the evil one will reach into the throat of all you consider holy and pull its bloodless chest, your hopes and desires, and burn them into a black inferno of deceit and madness.
You've already got one foot in hell! Taste the fire!
As you twist within the howling maelstrom of the insane undead, can you not see red warm death?
Hear the screams of the children! It's your blood they want!
Whoa, 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 two guys from a religious cult. You know, these folks aren't interested in all this. Save it for your meetings. Believe me, everybody, they're first-rate meteorologists.
I saw the dance of blood.
You're all
and you were
gonna
all
die!
there. It was the beast with the unblinking eye,
You're
anointing the
covered in
chosen
blood!
impure
Why
with the
can't you
fire of
see
dark
that?
kingdom, and the unspeakable hound Satan himself, and the black oceans of hell boiled with the agony of the
unholy
the dawn that would
power!
never change lingered like a
save
dream
yourself!
in the minds of the damned.
Guys, I know this is something that you and your friends are enthusiastic about here, but please, let's just get to the weather, huh?
Tonight, partly cloudy, chance of scattered showers.
Highs in the low to mid-50s!
Okay, how about the visibility?
Fog in low-lying areas.
Look for rain to taper off by mid-morning!
All right, let's look at your 5-day forecast.
Forecast!
Sunday and Monday will be sunny and seasonably cool.
Then the real fire begins!
Hope all your days are sunny.
Bye-bye!
Thanks, fellas. Two guys from a religious cult, ladies and gentlemen. Two guys from a religious cult. Well, David Hasselhoff is a huge star in Germany, where his syndicated series Knight Rider places a consistent second behind Baywatch in the ratings, which once again proves my old theory: Germans love David Hasselhoff. Last week, British entrepreneur Richard Brown launched a new soft drink, Virgin Cola. Apparently, months of research determined that people were turned off by the names Slut Cola and Dr. Whore. People in 14 states have reported getting sick after eating Schwan ice cream. They're not sure which flavor is the problem. They're vanilla, they're chocolate, or they're uncooked pork swirl. And that's all for now. Good night and good luck. Thank you. I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the news. Judge Lance Ito this week barred all potential jurors from reading Faye Resnick's controversial new book, Nicole Brown Simpson, Diary of a Life Interrupted. The judge also barred them from reading Faye Resnick's other new book entitled Judge Lance Ito is a Big Fruit. In other book news, Prince Charles released an autobiography in which he states that he never loved Princess Di and that his father pressured him to marry her. The book is entitled, Of Course O.J. Did It. I mean, come on. And the Pope came out with a book this week, which contains a series of essays examining faith and morality in today's secular world and the changing role of the Catholic Church as it approaches the 21st century. The book is entitled, God Himself Told Me That O.J. is Guilty. Queen Elizabeth II visited Russia this week, becoming the first English monarch to set foot in the Soviet Union. The visit, which will last for 2 weeks, is expected to have absolutely no effect on anything whatsoever. Well, now that Election Day is just 2 weeks away, here with his report on Campaign 94, Weekend Update political correspondent Al Franken. Al.
Thank you.
Now, Al, you've been covering these midterm races.
Yes.
Any general trends seem to be emerging?
Yes, Norm, this appears to be the roughest campaign year ever.
Negative campaigning?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I've been covering politics for a long time, and this is, without a doubt, the most mean-spirited year I've ever seen. Now, take, for example, Massachusetts, where Senate challenger Mitt Romney is spending millions of dollars on attack ads like this one. Watch.
On October 14th, 1978, Ted Kennedy is seen puking in the parking lot of the U.S. Capitol. On February 8th, 1983, Kennedy relieves himself on the leg of a Georgetown waitress. 3 years later, Kennedy passes out on the floor of the Senate, soiling himself in the process. Kennedy, he's a big, fat drunk.
Yeah, that was tough.
It's a tough year. Tough year. And it's really become a no-holds-barred contest. Watch this. This is one of Kennedy's attack ads on Romney.
Mormon prophet Brigham Young believed that a man ought to have as many wives as he wants. Apparently, Mitt Romney agrees. After all, he's a Mormon. Ted Kennedy, one wife at a time.
Okay, so Massachusetts then is the nation's dirtiest race.
Oh, no. I want you to watch this one. It's a Huffington ad run in California, and the key here is that this is run only on Christian cable stations. Watch this.
Dianne Feinstein is against prayer in school. And no wonder. She's a Jew.
That was ugly.
It was ugly. It's an ugly year.
Well, that has to be the most unprincipled ad in the country.
You know, that's what I thought, Norm, until I saw this Pataki ad run right here in New York, an attack ad on Governor Cuomo. Let's watch this.
Mario Cuomo says he's tough on crime. But what Mario Cuomo will not tell you is that in 1968, he was involved in a chainsaw massacre. Cuomo, he's a murderer.
That's a negative ad.
Man, well, at least that's the worst one.
Yeah, but remember, Norm, there's still 2.5 weeks left in the campaign.
Thanks, Al. Al Franken, ladies and gentlemen. Al Franken. To discourage worship of the Dalai Lama, the Chinese government has banned all photos of the exiled Tibetan leader, except for this photo from the 70s. New York City doorman Lenny Ladenhoff nearly fell over from shock when Princess Diana confided to him that she was feeling horny and invited him to drop by her hotel suite Thursday evening. Way to go, Lenny! Las Vegas mogul Steve Wynn has announced plans for a new hotel, 46 stories high, set on a 17-acre island in the middle of a 50-acre artificial lake on the Las Vegas Strip. In a related story, Motel 6 now has shampoo. Helmut Kohl was elected to his 4th term as Germany's chancellor this week. Experts say Mr. Kohl's success was guaranteed after he won the backing of singing sensation David Hasselhoff. Which once again proves my old theory, Germans love David Hasselhoff. And now, here with a commentary,
thank you very much. Long time no see. I am Hans.
Yeah, and I am Franz, and we just want to give
An editorial. All right. That's right, but first of all, we have to apologize.
Yeah, that's right, Hans. It must be very frustrating for you to see our properly pumped up bodies crammed behind this puny little desk.
Yeah. You know, we came back from a sabbatical, and then we said, where's our spacious gymnasium? And they said,
Say it, Hans.
Yeah, all right, they said they threw it out.
Yeah, right in the garbage. Our beautiful gymnasium.
Life-size cutouts of Arnold. Irreplaceable.
That's right. All of it gone. And they say, why don't you just do an editorial and update?
Yeah, update, where reoccurring characters go to die.
That's right. Hear me now. We are not here to talk. We are here to give warnings to all the other recurring characters.
Yes, hear me now and believe me later. Enjoy your popularity while it lasts, because it all ends up at this desk right here.
That's right, Hans. Yeah, that's right. You hear that, coffee talk lady?
Yeah, more like flabby talk lady.
Yeah. The update graveyard is calling. Yoo-hoo!
Yoo-hoo! Hello, coffee talk lady. Hello. We could crush you like a fly between our muscular buttocks, but then you get all verklempt.
Yeah, and you too, Stuart Smalley, you sensitive, pathetic, girly man. Because you're puny enough, you're flabby enough, and doggone it, you're a loser.
Yeah, that's right, Stuart Smalley. Your muscles are so puny, they don't even register on the flabbometer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, believe me, if you saw it, you would be flabbergasted.
That's right. And you too, Mr. Motivated Speaker.
Yeah, that's right. You might be living in a van down by the river now, but soon you will be living in a van down by the update desk.
That's right.
Next to Hans and Franz.
That's right.
And what is your name? Twiggy?
Twiggy Man here.
Yeah.
What's your name, Twiggy? What is it?
Norm.
Yeah, next to Hans and Franz and Twiggy.
Yeah, that's right, Twiggy Man.
Look, guys, we don't have time for this. Do you have anything else to say?
We don't have time for this. What do we have time for?
Yeah, we're just about finished. You know, the guy who was here before you was much nicer.
All right. No, it's okay. You know, we all have to have a sense of humor. Don't get your puny muscles all in a little bunch.
That's
Once
right.
again, I am Hans.
Yeah, and I am Franz, and we just want to
get our set back. Thank you.
Hans and Franz, everybody. The Brazilian teenager suing Michael Jackson for running him over with his van displayed his scars for a photographer this week. Jackson said through a spokesman that the suit was baseless, but he'd like to see more photos. A jury this week awarded $8.9 million to a man who said Tylenol destroyed his liver. Immediately following the decision, Tylenol announced its new advertising campaign. Take Tylenol, and you just might win $8.9 million. Well, a beef-flavored water for dog hit stores this week, and dogs are eagerly anticipating the arrival next month of the newest water flavor, other dogs' asses. And finally, in honor of the 50th anniversary of their first publication, Random House will be releasing special commemorative issues of many Dr. Seuss classics. The first to hit the bookshelves will be Green Eggs and Ham and O.J. is Guilty. And that's all for now. Good night.
Weekend Update with Norm Macdonald.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the fake news. Well, it's been a disastrous week for President Clinton. His party lost control of the House and Senate, and 31 governorships are now in Republican hands. The only bright spot? He was completely exonerated in the murder of Bob Crane. With Republican control of the Senate, Oregon's Bob Packwood will become chairman of the Senate Finance Committee. In a statement, he promised to massage the budget, goose interest rates, and, if possible, stick his tongue down the throat of inflation. And in Connecticut, where I live, a House race was won by a margin of just 2 votes. Well, that's good. My vote still wouldn't have made any difference at all. Young or old, male or female, everyone loves to visit the White House. In an act of conciliation, China released 8 political prisoners this week, but they made it clear that the other 79 million would be executed without a trial. A French man who calls himself the Snake Man was arrested this week after climbing up the side of a Manhattan high-rise. Yep, he climbed right up the side of a high-rise, just like a snake. This week is Taxi Cab Appreciation Week, so to all you taxi cab drivers out there, I'd appreciate it if you'd take a shower once in a while. How'd that be? A new hangover-free vodka is on the market. Yeah, the ads claim that the 80-proof vodka is so pure, it's virtually headache-free. But before you run out and buy it, remember, it causes massive anal bleeding. Dr. James Watts, a neurosurgeon who performed the first frontal lobotomy, died this week in Washington. If you recall, a lobotomy involves drilling holes in the skull and then inserting and rotating a knife to destroy brain cells. What a genius. He'll be missed. Well, Tom Cruise got ready for the premiere of his new movie, Interview with the Vampire, by sucking all the blood out of wife Nicole's... Liza Minnelli has gotten word she'll have to have a hip replacement operation. This marks the first time in 15 years that the name Liza Minnelli and the word hip have been used in the same sentence. George Foreman shocked the world this week. How about that, huh? He shocked the world when, after absorbing punishing blows to the head for 10 rounds, he knocked out Michael Moorer to regain the heavyweight crown. After the fight, Foreman said he felt great and that Moorer's punches had had no effect on him whatsoever. He then proceeded to grant a 20-minute interview to the Ring Post. And now, here with some concert reviews, once again, our rock and roll correspondent, Gil Graham.
Oh, thanks, George. Thank you. Well, this fall's concert menu is jam-packed with rock and roll. So let's take a bite. October 11th, MTV Studios. You need cooling, baby. I'm not fooling. That's right, Led Zeppelin reunites. And guess who was the 99th caller to WROK's Led Zepp ticket giveaway? I was just getting used to the comforts of the backstage performers' lounge when legendary Zeppelin road manager Peter Mad Dog Rudge apparently thought my third free Mountain Dew was one too many. He decided to emphasize his point by giving me an old-school ass-kicking. The man dragged me by my jaw into a nearby stairwell. Unfortunately, this stairway did not lead to heaven, but rather to the most painful 10 minutes of my life. The walls were reverberating with the relentless mule kicks of a 50-year-old English lunatic, along with the majestic opening licks of Kashmir. When they rolled me out onto 57th Street, I couldn't help but think, Zepp, It's been a long time since you rock and rolled, but it was worth the wait. Next October 17th, Nassau Coliseum. The Granddaddies of Grunge Soundgarden, ready to crank it up. I did not attend this concert. I had front row tickets, but my mother threw them out. She thought they were drugs. Catch you next year, Soundgarden. November 11th, Radio City Music Hall, the concert event of the year, the Christmas Spectacular. The matinee audience was mostly families and thus a little afraid to rock. But the hypnotic rhythms of the kettle drums backing up the Rockettes had me standing on my chair and screaming for Santa. I was in such a trance-like state I didn't realize I was disrupting Snow White's performance. You know, there are 7 dwarves, but apparently that day all of them were grumpy. They pounded me viciously in front of several thousand people for an inappropriate amount of time. One would think that their tiny fists would have little effect, but their combined impact was similar to that of a severe hailstorm. Their underdeveloped hands reached into places I didn't think were possible, causing momentary pleasure, then unspeakable pain. It ended up turning into a very special experience when the dwarves invited some underprivileged children down from the balcony to use me as a human spittoon. All in all, the Radio City Christmas show was a rock and roller's wet dream. Back to you, Norman. In the words of Kiss, I want to rock and roll all night and party every day. I do.
Bill Graham, ladies and gentlemen. Model Carrie Otis made news this week when she stated that she didn't want Mickey Rourke showing up at her work. Hey, join the club, lady. You think any of us want Mickey Rourke showing up at our work? Former First Lady Nancy Reagan reports that her husband has been relaxing at their ranch, riding horses and chopping wood. Sadly, eyewitnesses report that he was actually riding wood and chopping horses. The cast of Baywatch made a special appearance at Disney World in Florida, where they were mobbed by adoring fans, which proves my new theory. German tourists love David Hasselhoff. A 2-inch hummingbird that waited too long to fly south and ended up stranded in Alaska will be flown via commercial airline to California this week. You know, I have another solution to this. Kill the hummingbird. And our final story, Ted Kennedy says now that he's won re-election, he can finally relax, get off that crazy diet, and really let himself go. And that's all for now. Good night. Thank you. Hi, I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the Fake News. Newly elected Governor George Pataki says he wants to bring the death penalty back to New York. First up, Mayor Rudy Giuliani. According to a poll taken last week, if the presidential elections were held tomorrow, the guy in the funny mask would win. Maybe if I said the word properly. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is warning people not to overeat on Thanksgiving because it can make you drowsy at the wheel. Well, that's bad news for me, you know, because after Thanksgiving dinner, I usually like to drive around a while till I sober up. Fergie, the Duchess of York, turned down a guest appearance on the hit show Baywatch. Now, my research has uncovered that Fergie is actually British, not German, which, while not proving, certainly does nothing to disprove my time-tested theory: Germans love David Hasselhoff. George Foreman says his upcoming autobiography will be an inspiration to every American who has tried to reach the impossible dream. And in a related story, former heavyweight champion Michael Moorer says that he wants his autobiography to be an inspiration to anyone who's ever been beaten up by an old man. In North Dakota this week, a hunter narrowly escaped death when a pocket knife in his breast pocket deflected a bullet shot by another hunter. Man, you know we have too many weapons in this country when people are getting shot in the knife. Judge Ito was interviewed this week by a local TV station in Los Angeles. Asked by the interviewer if it was appropriate for a supposedly impartial judge to be on TV with his case still pending, Ito said, "Maybe not, but how appropriate is it to kill your ex-wife?" Anyway, he did an interview, and here to explain his actions is Judge Lance Ito. Welcome, Judge Ito.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Actually, thank you.
Now, Judge Ito, isn't it ironic that someone so critical of the media would allow themselves to be the subject of such an in-depth television interview?
Well, Norm, a lot of people expect me to apologize for the interview, that somehow it was inappropriate, hypocritical, what have you. But I really have only one thing to say to that, and that is, I'm a star, baby! I'm a huge freaking star, baby! Booby, thumper, come to Papa!
Judge Ito, I have to say, I'm shocked. I had no idea there was this side to you.
Get used to it, Normie, because I'm Judge Ito and I got the power. I got the power. You know, if I want to sequester the jury for 2 years, I can do it. If I want it so that the jurors can only watch Saved by the Bell, I can do that too. If I say to Shapiro, jump, he says to me, Ito, you superstar, how freaking high.
So I take it then you're not going to apologize.
Oh, no, I'll apologize. America, I'm sorry I'm so damn sexy.
Judge Ito, I have to say, it sounds like this has gone to your head.
Hey, Chief. The name's not Judge Ito. I've changed it. It's just Ito. And in 2 months, I'll be unveiling my new name. Yeah. I'll be the judge formerly known as Lance Ito. And hey, Normie. Hey, do you think OJ did it? I think he did it.
What, are you crazy? You can't say that. You gotta be impartial.
Oh, blah, blah, blah. Zip it. I'm Ito. I'm a freaking star, baby. America loves me. America loves Ito. And now I'm gonna give it to him. I'd just like to mention that I'll be at the Sands in Las Vegas, December at the MGM Grand with Buddy Hackett, December 19th through the 23rd. And if you're in town, you know, come on by, say hello. All right.
Judge Ito. Thank you, Judge.
Hey, America, I love you. Yeah, come on, babe. Let's go.
Judge Ito. It was revealed today that O.J. Simpson told police that Nicole Brown Simpson used to beat him up. He also claimed that she and Ron Goldman killed him. Talk show host Ricky Lake was arrested for vandalism after demonstrating against fur. She said wearing fur was in bad taste, then returned to her studio to tape a show entitled Why Whores Get the Clap. Yeah, Ricky Lake, you know, she really is an animal lover, though. She has 3 cats, 2 dogs, and a big ass that follows her around everywhere. Well, there may be trouble in paradise. Lisa Marie Presley confirmed this week that she and Michael Jackson live in separate residences 50 miles away from each other. Lisa Marie was quoted as saying, "I guess being married to a homosexual pedophile wasn't such a great idea after all." Researchers have developed a so-called red wine pill, which gives all the benefits of red wine without the alcohol. Yeah, it's called a grape. In other entertainment news, one of the world's biggest stars just completed a whirlwind 3-week world tour. Tonight, he's agreed to come to Update to tell us about it. Ladies and gentlemen, David Hasselhoff.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My recent world tour was an incredible experience. I went to 21 countries in just 15 days, and I've got some amazing stories to tell. In Japan, for instance, I was invited to the state dinner at the Emperor's Palace. What I didn't know was
whoa, hang on a second. Did you just say Japan?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, well, no offense, you know, but I don't think anybody cares about Japan. Why don't you focus on the countries where you're popular?
Oh. Well, in China, we had an incredible experience. The entire cast of Baywatch was invited to the Great Wall, where hundreds of thousands of Chinese people were chanting in unison, Baywatch.
Wait, Chinese people?
Yes, of course.
Look, why don't we skip China? In fact, rule out all of Asia.
Okay, well, I mean, what do you want to hear about? I mean, I've got some great stories from all over the world.
I was thinking, you know, some place where you're especially popular, you know, like in Europe.
Oh. Well, in Italy...
Northern Europe.
Oh, I got you. Okay, I got you. There's one country that they absolutely love. Norway.
Norway? What are you, crazy? They like everybody in Norway. Nobody gives a damn about Norway. What the hell's wrong with you?
Look, what's going on here? I've never seen you like this.
Well, to tell you the truth, you know, I didn't want to be the one to bring it up, but what about Germany? I mean... How do the Germans feel about you?
Well, on this trip, we actually didn't stop in Germany.
I don't care about your stupid trip. Look, just tell me how you would characterize in one sentence the way Germans feel about you.
Well, I've always been fortunate to get a very positive response from the Germans.
Oh, my God. This is no time for false modesty. We're running late. We got to wrap this thing up. Do Germans love you?
Well, love is an awfully strong word.
Oh. Listen, David, let's say a guy had a theory, all right? A theory that he's devoted several years of his life to. And let's say he has a lot of evidence to back up this theory of his. Now, don't you think it would just be common courtesy to help that guy out, you know, and not ruin his life?
Listen, I don't know what you want me to say here, pal.
Oh, my God. Here, I'll write it down. Here, say this.
Germans love me.
Which, once again, proves my theory. Germans love David Hasselhoff. And that's the news. See you next time. Thank you, David.
Auf Wiedersehen. Viel Glück, mein Lieber. Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the fake news. Newly elected Governor George Pataki says he wants to bring the death penalty back to New York. First up, Mayor Rudy Giuliani. According to a poll taken last week, if the presidential elections were held tomorrow, the guy in the funny mask would win. Maybe if I said the word properly. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration is warning people not to overeat on Thanksgiving. because it can make you drowsy at the wheel. Well, that's bad news for me, you know, because after Thanksgiving dinner, I usually like to drive around a while till I sober up. Fergie, the Duchess of York, turned down a guest appearance on the hit show Baywatch. Now, my research has uncovered that Fergie is actually British, not German, which, while not proving, certainly does nothing to disprove my time-tested theory: Germans love David Hasselhoff. George Foreman says his upcoming autobiography will be an inspiration to every American who has tried to reach the impossible dream. And in a related story, former heavyweight champion Michael Moorer says that he wants his autobiography to be an inspiration to anyone who's ever been beaten up by an old man. In North Dakota this week, a hunter narrowly escaped death when a pocket knife in his breast pocket deflected a bullet shot by another hunter. Man, you know we have too many weapons in this country when people are getting shot in the knife. Judge Ito was interviewed this week by a local TV station in Los Angeles. Asked by the interviewer if it was appropriate for a supposedly impartial judge to be on TV with his case still pending, Ito said, "Maybe not, but how appropriate is it to kill your ex-wife?" Anyway, he did an interview, and here to explain his actions is Judge Lance Ito. Welcome, Judge Ito.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Actually, thank you.
Now, Judge Ito, isn't it ironic that someone so critical of the media would allow themselves to be the subject of such an in-depth television interview?
Well, Norm, a lot of people expect me to apologize for the interview, that somehow it was inappropriate, hypocritical, what have you. But I really have only one thing to say to that, and that is, I'm a star, baby! I'm a huge freaking star, baby! Boomby, thumper, come to Papa!
Judge Ito, I have to say, I'm shocked. I had no idea there was this side to you.
Get used to it, Normie, because I'm Judge Ito and I got the power. I got the power. You know, if I want to sequester the jury for 2 years, I can do it. If I want it so that the jurors can only watch Saved by the Bell, I can do that too. If I say to Shapiro, jump, he says to me, Ito, you superstar, how freaking high.
So I take it then you're not going to apologize.
Oh, no, I'll apologize. America, I'm sorry I'm so damn sexy.
Judge Ito, I have to say, it sounds like this has gone to your head.
Hey, Chief. The name's not Judge Ito. I've changed it. It's just Ito. And in 2 months, I'll be unveiling my new name. Yeah. I'll be the judge formerly known as Lance Ito. And hey, Normie. Hey, do you think OJ did it? I think he did it.
What, are you crazy? You can't say that. You gotta be impartial.
Oh, blah, blah, blah. Zip it. I'm Ito. I'm a freaking star, baby. America loves me. America loves Ito. And now I'm gonna give it to him. Yeah, baby. Hey, I'd just like to mention that I'll be at the Sands in Las Vegas, December at the MGM Grand with Buddy Hackett, December 19th through the 23rd. And if you're in town, come on by, say hello. All right.
Judge Ito. Thank you, Judge.
Hey, America, I love you. Yeah, come on, baby. Let's go.
Judge Ito. It was revealed today that O.J. Simpson told police that Nicole Brown Simpson used to beat him up. He also claimed that she and Ron Goldman killed him. Talk show host Ricky Lake was arrested for vandalism after demonstrating against fur. She said wearing fur was in bad taste, then returned to her studio to tape a show entitled Why Whores Get the Clap. Yeah, Ricky Lake, you know, she really is an animal lover, though. She has 3 cats, 2 dogs, and a big ass that follows her around everywhere. Well, there may be trouble in paradise. Lisa Marie Presley confirmed this week that she and Michael Jackson live in separate residences 50 miles away from each other. Lisa Marie was quoted as saying, "I guess being married to a homosexual pedophile wasn't such a great idea after all." Researchers have developed a so-called red wine pill, which gives all the benefits of red wine without the alcohol. Yeah, it's called a grape. In other entertainment news, one of the world's biggest stars just completed a whirlwind 3-week world tour. Tonight, he's agreed to come to Update to tell us about it. Ladies and gentlemen, David Hasselhoff.
Thank you. Thank you very much. My recent world tour was an incredible experience. I went to 21 countries in just 15 days, and I've got some amazing stories to tell. In Japan, for instance, I was invited to the state dinner at the Emperor's Palace. What I didn't know was
Whoa, hang on a second. Did you just say Japan?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, well, no offense, you know, but I don't think anybody cares about Japan. Why don't you focus on the countries where you're popular?
Oh. Well, in China, we had an incredible experience. The entire cast of Baywatch was invited to the Great Wall, where hundreds of thousands of Chinese people were chanting in unison, Baywatch.
Wait, Chinese people?
Yes, of course.
Look, why don't we skip China? In fact, rule out all of Asia.
Okay. Well, I mean, what do you want to hear about? I mean, I've got some great stories from all over the world.
I was thinking, some place where you're especially popular, like in Europe.
Oh. Well, in Italy...
Northern Europe.
Oh, I got you. Okay, I got you. There's one country that they absolutely love. Norway.
Norway? What are you, crazy? They like everybody in Norway. Nobody gives a damn about Norway. What the hell's wrong with you?
Look, what's going on here? I've never seen you like this.
Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't want to be the one to bring it up, but what about Germany? I mean... How do the Germans feel about you?
Well, on this trip, we actually didn't stop in Germany.
I don't care about your stupid trip. Look, just tell me how you would characterize in one sentence the way Germans feel about you.
Well, I've always been fortunate to get a very positive response from the Germans.
Oh, my God. This is no time for false modesty. We're running late. We got to wrap this thing up. Do Germans love you?
Well, love is an awfully strong word.
Listen, David, let's say a guy had a theory, all right? A theory that he's devoted several years of his life to. And let's say he has a lot of evidence to back up this theory of his. Now, don't you think it would just be common courtesy to help that guy out, and not ruin his life?
Listen, I don't know what you want me to say here, pal.
Oh, my God. Here, I'll write it down. Here, say this.
Germans love me.
Which, once again, proves my theory. Germans love David Hasselhoff. And that's the news. See you next time. Thank you, David.
Auf Wiedersehen. Viel Glück, mein Lieber. Auf Wiedersehen. Auf Wiedersehen.
Thanks. I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the fake news. PLO leader Yasser Arafat announced this week that his wife is pregnant. The happy couple said they really don't care if the child is a boy or a girl, just as long as it hates Jews. The California Senate voted 38-0 to name State Route 118 the Ronald Reagan Freeway. The 83-year-old former president joked, "People have tried to drive over me for years. This is the first time I will actually welcome it." And then everybody enjoyed a good laugh, even though they had no idea what the hell he was talking about. Airline travelers' complaints have risen 22% over the last year. The single most common complaint was, "They lost my baggage," followed closely by, "I didn't like being in that fiery plane crash." Well, more bad news for Governor-elect George Pataki. An audit reveals that due to years of lax security, New York's reservoirs are, quote, 90% urine. Well, you got to hand it to Dan Quayle, huh, for finally changing his image. You used to look at him and think, potato spelled with an E. Now you look at him and think, blood clot. The U.S. Postal Service this week canceled plans for a stamp commemorating the bombing of Hiroshima. They will instead release a different stamp. Here it is that hopefully people will find it less offensive, that one. Jeffrey Dahmer's relatives are reportedly fighting over what to do with his body. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, some want to have sex with it while the rest want to put it in the fridge. So that's, should have stopped at the premise that time. The cast of America's hottest new show, ER, have landed themselves on the cover of Entertainment Weekly. They're all there, the most popular bunch of actors on TV. There's that guy and the other guy over there's the black guy there and the frizzy-haired lady and there's that blonde doctor girl over there. There they are. America's hottest group of actors. There they are. Well, a study this week reports seafood is good for you unless it's fried. Yet another groundbreaking story from the pages of the medical journal, Duh. A new study shows that a few simple tests may be able to determine which elderly drivers are most likely to have accidents. Sadly, the tests all involve a lot of old people driving cars into trees. Kind of sad. Scientists have created a genetically superior Christmas tree that will be taller, stronger, and tougher than other trees. One downside, if you don't like your presents, it will kill you. It's a hell of a downside there. And here's our story. Scientists have discovered that rats with spinal cord injuries were able to walk again after being treated with a combination drug therapy. That's good news, huh? Getting all those rats up and around again? A new FBI study shows that for the first time, Americans are more likely to be killed by a stranger than a loved one or acquaintance. Their advice? Introduce yourself to as many people as possible. A one-legged goose with a dart in its head. And I complain about my life, you know? It's tougher for the one-legged goose. Hey, Lisa Marie Presley said that she and Michael are still together and happy this week. She also made a revelation that she is actually a 9-year-old boy.
Yeah.
That it? Whoop! There I am. I thought I was over there. A sheepdog carrying $250,000 worth of cocaine in its stomach was found at JFK Airport earlier this week. A customs agent got suspicious when he saw two airline employees taking turns sniffing the dog's ass. And that's all the news. Thanks, folks. See you later. Thank you. I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the fake news. Early this morning in Washington, someone fired 6 shots into the White House. Police have little to go on, but say they're on the lookout for a middle-aged black woman in a Surgeon General's uniform. President Clinton said this week that he was willing to propose a tax cut, quote, as long as I can pay for it. He then looked inside his wallet and announced a plan to cut taxes by $6. French automaker Renault confirmed this week that it planned to cut 1,735 jobs next year. The company said it was trying to reduce staff because, quote, we haven't sold a car since 1978. The FBI released this sketch of the man known as the Unabomber this week, and authorities immediately issued an arrest warrant for Weird Al Yankovic. O.J. Simpson's lawyers have decided to skip hearings on DNA evidence and go right to trial. Asked why they did this, the lawyers replied, we want to get O.J. acquitted as speedily as possible so he can get back to doing what he does best, killing people. Buffalo Bills quarterback Jim Kelly is out for the season. His replacement, Frank Reich, said this week that he vows to rally the Bills and get them into the playoffs. He further promised his teams would win the AFC Championship game and go on to the Super Bowl, where they will be crushed. A California man has sued Macdonald's, claiming he contracted AIDS from one of its pork sandwiches. McDonald's disputes his charge, but the man insists, quote, that sandwich gave me AIDS just as sure as I'm a male prostitute. Well, the holidays are just around the corner, and here with tips on how to make this Christmas truly special is nationally known authority on style, Martha Stewart. Martha?
You. I think for each of us, childhood memories of Christmas are something unique and personal. My own memories center around the big Victorian home where I grew up. Early each Christmas morning, the other children and I would awake to the unmistakable smells of baked cinnamon apples, mulled cider, and mince pudding wafting from the kitchen. In an instant, we children would come bounding down the great staircase, our arms and legs all akimbo.
Akimbo?
Yes, akimbo. And our childish eyes as big as saucers, eager to spy what good things Kris Kringle had brought.
Hold on a second there, Martha. Kris Kringle?
Yes, Norm, you know, Père Noël, Father Christmas, good Saint Nick.
You mean Santa Claus?
Oh, you called him Santa Claus. Anyway, it being Christmas, Mater and Pater had dismissed the staff.
Wait a minute. Mater and Pater?
Yes. It's our parents, that's what we called them.
Where did you grow up?
Norm, that doesn't matter. You see, Christmas is the same throughout the world.
I'm just curious. Where?
New Jersey. Anyway, there we children stood, staring in awe at what we were sure was the largest Christmas tree ever, festooned with candy canes, lemon sticks, and rosebuds on a string. And there, hanging in the mantel of the enormous fireplace, were all the children's stockings, filled to overflowing with walnuts, pecans, candied plums, dried figs, and spiced oranges.
Now, we're in New Jersey.
Nutley, New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, I know Nutley. Yeah, that's off Exit 7, Route 3, off the Jersey Turnpike.
Yes. And then it always seemed just as we were about to open our gifts, the neighbors would come by wassailing. Here we come a-wassailing, they'd shout. Good wassail to you, we'd reply.
Wassailing? Never mind, go on.
No, Norm, I think I'd better stop right here. You seem to think I'm making this up.
All right, suit yourself. But hey, if you run into any of my friends from Jersey wassailing, you give them my best, huh?
I'll do that, Norm.
All right, Martha Stewart there, everybody. Well, the U.S. Safety Commission has issued a list of unsafe Christmas toys. Topping the list this year, Mattel's gasoline-powered sharp thing. There's a new kitty litter on the market. It's made from wheat. And its slogan is, kitty litter just got a whole lot tastier. There's a new 24-hour cable TV channel now. It's called Fish TV. The channel shows a giant aquarium of fish 24 hours a day, except from 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. when it shows the Byron Allen Show. Last week, a new restaurant called Le Jus d'Homme opened here in Manhattan, and now here with a review of that restaurant, two guys from a religious cult. Yeah.
The long-dead rulers of the Serpent Kingdoms will open their maggot-encrusted eyes and emerge from their forgotten tombs at the unspeakable dawn of the sixth day to worship at the altar of the Dark Queen.
You must join us inside the belly of Lucifer!
The mocking laughter of the betrayer reveals that the dead live, and those who think they are alive are only so in the twisted dreams of the insane.
Can't you smell the breath of the hell beast? He waits for you in the slaughterhouse!
Whoa, 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 whoa there, two guys from a religious cult. I know you love that whole cult thing, but how about that new restaurant? Is the food good or what?
The foul mist of dark
Die,
death
you
will cover the
fornicators!
hills of the obscene ones.
Cry
And the
the
defilers
tears
will
of
emerge
the
from the cave
devil!
of succubus,
The
murder,
Reaper
mark,
has
coming off the
arrived!
fleshy underbellies of the chosen. As the blood drips from the beaks of the vultures.
You will bathe
You
in
unleash
the
to the
blood of
innocent.
the black pig! I command you!
All right, that's it. Look, I had a feeling this was going to happen, you know. Now I'm going to have to go over your heads to get this restaurant review. Ladies and gentlemen, live via satellite from an undisclosed location in the tri-state area, the leader of the religious cult. So, your leadership. Now, did you enjoy dining at this restaurant? Would you recommend it?
The unholy one is inside of me. His ancient spirit demands sacrifice. Who among the damned will follow me to Babylon? Who? My insides are burning! Ah!
Jeez, hey, that's enough. Look, just stop it, all this speaking in tongues and bowing, you know. Get a hold of yourselves. We're on television, for God's sake. It's ridiculous. The last time, tell us about this restaurant.
Service was adequate. Food was a bit pricey.
Alfredo sauce was a little too creamy!
The peach cobbler was delightful.
Really? Okay. So what's your overall recommendation, then?
Good neighborhood place.
Pleasant for families!
Business. Oops.
Sounds like I'll have to check it out. Thanks for the report there, fellas.
Happy holidays, everybody!
All right, two guys from a religious cult. And their leader, ladies and gentlemen. Police in Newman, Georgia discovered 35 bags of cocaine in the backpack of a second grader yesterday. Authorities say they grew suspicious when the boy began showing up to school in a stretch limo surrounded by gorgeous hookers. The newest talk show, The Charles Perez Show, debuted this week. The show's first topic, who the hell is Charles Perez? This week, a Cincinnati woman with 10 personalities sued a man for sexual assault. But the suit was thrown out when 2 of her personalities said that she may have consented. You know, folks, where I come from, no, 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 yes, yes, no, no means no. Hate to get on a soapbox, but that's where I come from. In a survey this week, men said they preferred penis size to height. 62% of men said they'd rather be 5'2" with a 7-inch penis. 36% said they'd rather be 6'3" with a 3-inch penis. And the remaining 2% said they'd rather be 1'4" with a 300-inch penis. All right, folks, Merry Christmas. See you next time. Thanks a lot. Thank you. I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the Fake News. Secretary of State Warren Christopher this week again offered to quit his job, saying he's sick of being a damn secretary. This week, President Clinton gave Japanese Prime Minister Tomichi Murayama a basket of Washington State apples. Afterwards, the Asian head of state said, hey, thanks for the apples. I guess I really owe you one now. Here we see the president and the first bitch. Hey, slow down, you bitch. Let me catch up. Hillary Clinton invited Newt Gingrich and his mother to the White House. Apparently, she's hoping they'll get caught in the crossfire. More bad news for Boris Yeltsin this week. In Chechnya, the entire Russian army was defeated by these three guys over here. And here is South Korea's annual The Running of the Tanks. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms has given approval to a new bullet so brutally destructive that it will tear through your soft tissue, rip apart your vital organs, and then take all your money and live it up with your girlfriend in Aruba. Aruba. A 51-year-old cosmonaut set a world space endurance record this week after spending 367 days aboard the Russian space station Mir. And also, as a side note, he also smashed his own masturbation record. Well, the Grammy Award nominations were announced this week, and it was a lucky day for singer Billy Ray Cyrus. Apparently, he found a $5 bill in a taxi. Oprah Winfrey broke down and cried this week, saying she had once smoked crack cocaine. You know, I don't know what she's crying about. I mean, you know, some people in this world never get to smoke crack cocaine. It's ridiculous. Huh? And now, with a review of the concerts he saw over the Christmas break, here's our music correspondent. It's David Spade.
Yeah! All right. Thank you, crowd. Well, the first show I saw was Leonard Skinner. That's right, Norm, Leonard Skinner. What can I say? I'm a redneck from Arizona. I like this band because my brother liked him when we were kids, and I thought he was cool. And by the time I figured out he was an idiot, it was too late. I was a Skinner fan. So I go to the show because I want to hear my favorite songs, but I know I'm going to have to sit around for 2 hours because, God forbid, they open with Freebird, right? There'd be a trampling getting out of there. Hey, wait, we got some other stuff, dudes. They should call all their other songs Not Freebird. Here's another song, it's not Freebird. And the guys behind me are going, surrounded by Nell. So the next night, I go see the Eagles at Sun Devil Stadium. Yeah, oh yeah. And the best thing about them is they have the sheer nerve to open with Hotel California. They're like, oh yeah, that's right, and we can follow it. We have 2,000 songs. The only problem is they did what a lot of bands do. They try to incorporate your city into their song to kiss up to the audience. We're supposed to be so impressed that they can read our town off the back of a mic stand, right? So they come out singing, on a dark Arizona highway. And I'm like, yeah! That's it! Cool Scottsdale wind in my hair. Still us, buddy. Warm smell of Sun Devil State. Okay, we got it. Welcome to the hotel. Get off. Then I took my 11-year-old cousin to see Green Day, who were on the show last month. Yeah. They were on our show recently, and at first I didn't like these guys because they were from Britain. Then I found out they weren't, so I liked them for about 20 seconds until I realized they were pretending to be from Britain. I bought more living clothes, more. Aren't you guys from Portland? Let's bring it down about 1,000,000%. I guess they had a layover at Heathrow and couldn't shake the accent. Me suppins is in me puppins. Not this time, gang. Me bloomin' knicker. Nope. Sorry. I've got...
Now, don't you think you're being a little rough on these guys there, David? I mean, you know, they were Rolling Stone's favorite new band. They sold 4 million albums, you know. Nothing personal, but, you know, I think your career could use a splash of jolly old England there. You know?
Well, then why don't you join me in me flat for some crumpets, no?
Not now. Jeez, you gotta ease into it there, buddy.
All right, whatever. Thank you, Norm. I will see you later, matey. All right,
In Walnut Creek, California, anyone who turns in his gun can get free therapy. And anyone who doesn't turn in his gun can get free anything. Well, let's get to O.J. O.J. Simpson's lawyers say they don't want the families of Nicole Brown and Ronald Goldman in the courtroom during the trial. They're afraid the presence of the family members will just remind O.J. of how much more killing he still has to do. And O.J. announced this week that he's coming out with a new book called I Want to Tell You. And if it's successful, O.J. will work on yet another book entitled From Football to Prison, My 25 Years of Showering with Other Men. Marguerite Simpson, the first wife of O.J. Simpson, has finally broken her silence about their 12-year marriage. Not in a book form or interview, but on a new CD entitled First Wife, Keep Moving. The video debuts here tonight on Weekend Update. Ladies and gentlemen, here is Marguerite Simpson with You Gotta Be.
My story's told. I broke free from O.J.'s hold. O.J. tried to kill me, but I didn't die. Lovers, they may cause you tears. It was scary all those years. Now he's locked up, so I can tell you how I stayed alive. You gotta be fast, you gotta jump high, you gotta be a part-time ninja. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, you gotta be Schwarzenegger. You gotta work out, you gotta be calm and hide in the refrigerator. All I know, Mace saved my life. Harold, what your mother said. Shut your mouth and just play dead. Calling 911 is just a waste of time. Get that mace, hold it in your hand. Spray it so his punch won't land. My, oh my. Hey, hey, hey. You gotta be fast, you gotta jump high, you gotta be a part-time ninja. You gotta be hard, you gotta be tough, and hide in the refrigerator. You gotta work out, you gotta be calm, and play for the Oakland Raiders. All I know is Mace saved my life. Mace saved my life.
H. Simpson, everybody. And finally, twin daughters have been born to Andrew and Carrie Kennedy Cuomo, making former New York Governor Mario Cuomo a grandfather. The girls were named Pataki and Sucks. That's all for now. Good night. See you later. Thanks. I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the fake news. Singer Billy Joel survived the massive earthquake which rocked Japan this week. The quake, which hit the port city of Kobe, killed nearly 5,000 people and demolished hundreds of buildings. To repeat, do not panic. Billy Joel has survived the earthquake. Here we see President Clinton looking for something, anything, to hug besides his wife. In an effort to feel smarter than somebody, Dan Quayle this week spoke to 4,000 Amway employees. Jimmy Carter has written a collection of poetry. It includes his latest poem, entitled Ode to a Country Full of Stupid, Ungrateful Bastards. Here's an amazing story. Twins born 95 days apart. Even more amazing, they were born to different mothers and they don't even look alike. Yeah, that's hard to believe. Well, the NHL strike officially ended Thursday. After some adjustments to the schedule, the regular season started last night and the playoffs will start tomorrow. And now, with a commentary on the resolution of that hockey strike, is Tim Meadows. Tim.
Thank you. Well, the hockey strike is over, and no one is more relieved than me, Tim Meadows. For a while there, I didn't think I was going to make it, and I'm sure I speak for all African Americans when I say, game on at last, game on at last. Thank God Almighty, game on at last. You see, white America had taken everything it could from black people. Our culture, our heritage, our freedom, and finally, with the NHL strike, our ice hockey. I tell you, it was weird to walk through the African American community at night and not hear the sound of Hockey Night in Canada coming from every home. Or kids saying, yo, yo, he shoots, he scores. And I couldn't call my brother and say, yo, Tyrone, did you see the Whalers last night? And echoing the sentiments of the entire African-American community, he would say, yo, little brother, the Whalers were fly. The Whalers were fly. So play on, Pavel Bure, and skate faster, Jeff Bookaboom, and cover that net, John Van Beesbrook. The African-American community and Tim Meadows are watching. Back to you, Norm.
Thank you. Tim Meadows. Thanks, Tim. A blind man felt Princess Diana's face last week and said she is the prettiest woman I've ever seen. He then picked up a toilet plunger and said, thank you for this royal scepter. I shall treasure it always. According to the National Transportation Safety Board, sleepy truckers are responsible for 1,000 deaths a year. In second place, O.J. Simpson at 2 deaths a year. Well, O.J. Simpson's lawyers stopped feuding this week, finally. The Dream Team F. Lee Bailey and Robert Shapiro were able to put aside their differences and express their admiration for each other after O.J. threatened to cut their heads off. The United Paramount Network's new show, Star Trek Voyager, finished in first place Monday night with a 14.7 rating. For those of you who don't know, 1 rating point is equal to 950,000 nerds. Officials in Disney World have ordered their ride, the Extra Terror Estriel, to be shut down until it can be made scarier. When the attraction reopens in 2 weeks, it will be exactly the same, but missing 6 bolts. This week, a court banned gays from marching in Boston's St. Patrick's Day parade, but they will still allow them to be beaten up by drunken Irish guys. I'm afraid to know what you're applauding at there. Okay. And now, turning again to sports, it's time for Jay Moore's Wacky Sports Bloopers. Jay.
All right. Thanks, Norm. Thanks, Norm. You know, there's been a lot of nutty stuff going on in the sports world lately, so let's just get right to the videotape. First, in football, it's the AFC Championship game between the Steelers and the Chargers. Here's a kickoff like you've never seen. The Steelers, Charlie Johnson takes the ball, and he throws it 70 yards back to the kicker's foot. Oh, that is crazy. Woo! Oh, boy. All right, now to hockey. The season's only 1 night old, but already we have an incredible blooper. Opening night at the Garden, Rangers versus Sabres, and check out this action. Whoa! They're skating upside down. Jeez, somebody teach these guys about gravity.
Hey, Jay, about these bloopers, you know, they,
hold on a minute, Norm. Hold on, okay? Because you ain't seen nothing yet. Basketball. Scottie Pippen, okay, tries to shoot. There he is, puts up a shot, and the ball freezes to the backboard. Hey, Scotty, would you cover the ball with glue?
Okay, Jay, that's enough. These aren't bloopers. What you've done, you've manipulated videotape.
You're talking crazy, Norm. Check this one out. It's from the U.S. Clay Court Championships. Here we have Jim Courier and Gordon Pripyat have quite a rally going. Yow! These guys are flying. Where's the fire, guys? Somebody gave these guys super energy pills or something.
Jay, look, I'm sorry, I gotta ask you to leave. You know, bloopers are real events that happen on the field. You're giving sports bloopers a bad name.
Okay, fine, Norm, if that's the way you want it. I think I got a blooper that's more real. Yeah. All right, let's go back to basketball. Seattle's Kendall Gill goes up for a dunk and misses.
That was very funny.
That's not the blooper yet, Norm. Keep your eyes peeled. Here we go. Seattle gets the ball back. There's Gary Payton, and there he is. Wow, Godzilla attacks! He attacks the arena! Woo! Put a 10 on that circus, huh? I never saw anything like that. That's it, Norm, from the wacky world of sports.
Okay, thanks, Jay. Los Angeles Rams owner Georgia Frontier announced this week that her football team is moving to St. Louis. The good news for the Rams is that changing cities, that the ticket sales will increase and more fans will pack the stadium. The bad news for the Rams is they will still suck. Well, the Super Bowl is still a week away, but already the 49ers are leading 31-0. And finally, Amy Fisher charged this week that while in prison, she was raped by a guard. The guard, one Joseph Botafuco, has been reassigned to the prison auto body shop. So apparently that's the one we're ending on. Okay, that's it for now. See you next week. Thank you. Hi, I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the fake news. Surgeon General nominee Dr. Henry Foster, who claims he performed 39 abortions, is facing charges that he once said he performed 700. When asked if he made the statement, Foster was adamant in his response, saying, "If I told you 39 times, I told you 700 times, the answer is no." Well, the Super Bowl might be over, but the San Francisco 49ers just keep piling it on. They now lead the Chargers 83-40 for 27. So they've comfortably covered the spread. This week, the Disney company used Federal Express to ship an elephant cross-country. Disney said it would have used regular mail, but the last time they tried it, The elephant fell behind a cabinet at the post office and was lost for 3 months. It was revealed this week that defense lawyer Johnny Cochran once abused his first wife. In his defense, Cochran said, "Hey, at least I didn't kill her like some people I know." In his book, O.J. Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you. That's probably... You don't get worse luck than that. Tomorrow, Judge Lance Ito will take O.J. and the jury on a tour of the now famous crime scene. For the jury, it will be their first look at the actual location. Of course, for O.J., it will be just a case of been there, done that. A couple of weeks ago, Judge Ito almost discontinued media coverage of the O.J. Simpson trial after a juror was accidentally videotaped. It was also revealed this week there was another incident that almost made Judge Ito pull the plug once again. Update has obtained that clip. Davey?
Now, what time did you say you arrived at Mr. Simpson's house?
At approximately 8 p.m.
And that was on June 11th?
That's correct.
And how many pizzas were you delivering?
2 pizzas, 1 pepperoni and 1 cheese.
Now, Mr. Smith, when you arrived at Mr. Simpson's residence with the pizzas, can you... Mr. Smith, can you tell us what transpired? Sir, Mr. Smith?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question? I don't...
When you arrived at Mr. Simpson's house with the pizzas, can you please tell the court what transpired?
Beep! Boop!
Sir, please, Mr. Smith?
Beep, beep, beep!
Mr. Smith?
And there's a new 24-hour cable channel. It's called the Golf Channel. It shows golf 24 hours a day, except for between 2 a.m. and 3 a.m. when it shows the Byron Allen Show. The game Monopoly turned 60 years old this week. You know, things were so much simpler back then when people traveled around by hat or thimble. Those were the days, yeah. Last week, after more than a month of frigid darkness, jubilant residents of Canada's Arctic set off fireworks, danced, and ate caribou in celebration of their first glimpse of sunlight. And as the sun briefly illuminated the sky, they looked at each other and said, "Hey, what the hell is this we're eating? What is this, caribou? Hey, eating a hunk of caribou over here? What the? What is it?" And now with a report on Cindy Crawford's love life, Weekend Update correspondent, my buddy David Spade.
Thank you, Norm, my friend. Well, as most of you know, supermodel Cindy Crawford is separated from her husband, Richard Gere. So with speculation rampant about a romantic future, I've been asked to evaluate her most likely potential suitors. Okay, first up, Scott Baio. He may have had a chance during the peak of Charles in Charge, but right now he's a day late and a series short. He's got the Dick Van Dyke detective show going now, but 56 in the ratings don't get no Cindy Crawdaddy. Thanks for trying. Kato Kalin, I don't know, seems harmless, makes me a little nervous, though. He'll always want to sleep over, and he'll never leave, and then there's a lot of hook me up with your agent stuff. Just sounds like trouble. Forget Kato. AC, Al Cowlings. He's got those Broncos stories. That's good for about 2 dates, but then what, right? He's out. Bud Bundy? I don't even know how he got in there. This guy couldn't get laid in a monkey whorehouse with a bag of bananas. And that's not good. Axl Rose. Fine, but where is he, right? I can't find him. Paunch? No, no Paunch. Eddie Furlong. Yeah, likable kid, but he's a little weirded out lately. You know, he's dating his nanny or his teacher or something, and there's no guarantee of a Terminator 3, and I'd stay away. Fred Schneider of the B-52s, good singer, but don't think he'd like you back. Just a gut feeling on that one. Joey Buttafuoco. I don't sense any chemistry there either. Katie Lang, how'd that get in there? That's some sort of mix-up. JFK Jr., here we go. Okay, this guy's rich, he's good-looking, he's got power, he's got anything that he wants, but at the end of the day, you know what? The end of the day isn't too bad for this guy. In fact, I'm getting mad even thinking about his cake life. Get this picture out of here. I'm going to punch him in the face.
Hey, relax there, David. God, keep going.
Yeah, I'm done. Cindy, you're on your own. Back to you, buddy.
David Spade, everybody. My good friend.
Thank you, pal.
Taco Bell this week introduced a new light menu, as well as a new slogan. Half the fat, but still tastes like crap. And now, here with the Valentine's Day song is my hero, Adam Sandler.
Thank you very much. All righty. This Valentine's Day song the song is for someone who is very, very special to me. When I call you in the night and tell you I'm not feeling right, you cheer me up with what you say, sex phone lady. You never laugh in my face when I ask you to pretend you're the girl with the scar on Melrose Place. You fake romance, take off my pants. A sex phone lady. When there's a beep on the other line, beep, beep, you say don't get it or I'll spank you. I say that's fine. I'll concentrate on you, at least until I'm through. A sex phone lady. You took this job so your family could eat. That's why I call you 12 times a day to help you make ends meet. I do it for the children. Oh, sex phone ladies. You probably weigh a ton and are missing most of your hair. But as long as you tell me you'll hit me in the face with your big, big boobs, hell, I really don't care. Oh, when you ask me, oh, what's my name? My reply is always the same. I say it's me, the guy from TV, Mr. Chris Farley. So happy Valentine's Day, sex phone lady. Thank you very much.
Adam Sandler. And that's it. Good night. Hi, I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the fake news. It took a Long Island jury 10 hours to convict Colin Ferguson this week. It then took them 13 hours to walk across the street for lunch and 27 hours to eat it. And in football news, man, this is getting ridiculous. The 49ers now beat the Chargers 1,000,655 something to 27. All right. Not good with those long numbers. Judge Lance Ito was happy with the jurors' field trip to the crime scene last week. It went off without a hitch, said Ito. Not one murder. And this week, Simpson defense lawyers questioned witnesses about a half-melted container of ice cream found at the murder site. The Simpson defense has seized upon the ice cream for two reasons. One, it may help fix the time of the murders, and two, it was the only thing in the murder scene without any of O.J.'s blood on it. O.J.'s pal Al Cowlings now has a 1-900 number. For $2.99 a minute, Cowlings will tell callers that O.J. is innocent. And for $3.99 a minute, he'll try to do it without laughing. This week, President Clinton played golf with ex-presidents Gerald Ford and George Bush. Bush hit an old lady in the face with a golf ball, giving her a broken nose and 10 stitches. But don't be impressed. It took him 5 strokes to do it. So. A study says that pot use in high school is up sharply. Don't I know it? Oh, yeah. I'm joking. And I don't really sell drugs to children. And now a correction to a story we ran last week. Prince Charles is actually the one in the middle. So we apologize for that. According to a new survey, condom use is way up. Also way up, complicated, clumsy, unsatisfying sex. According to a survey, 58% of men would have sex with a woman they disliked. Although while having sex, they would really, really like them, and then afterwards not like them again. 130 years after the Civil War, the state of Mississippi has finally voted to abolish slavery. Representatives say they would have liked to have done it sooner, but they were delayed due to some awfully big cotton crops. They had some kind of big cotton thing. All right. And now, here with his own look at the news is Opera Man.
Grazie, no mi grazie. Colin Ferguson, self-rappresento, speak the wella, intelligento, says no guilty, portray an attacco, but jury say he's still a wacko. Demi Moore salary at 12 million for next movie, 4 million for her acting, 4 million for each a boobie. Brad Pitt, sexiest, tipo roto, Opera Man say, we count the vote. Baseball scabs on opening day, just as good as regular play. Manja your hot dog, drink your soda, look at shortstop, every good. What the heck? He don't play. Tom Hanks on nominato, second time, oh, you're a great. Next year vacation, go to France, oh, give someone else a freaking chance. Big yourself, so shop away. Opera Man, bye bye.
Sandler. Opera Man, Adam Sandler, Opera Man. After 50 years entertaining children, a fed-up Mickey Mouse finally started to eat one this week. And in a touching Valentine's Day gesture, a man gave his wife one of his own kidneys. Terrified, she dropped the kidney and ran out of the restaurant screaming. Roseanne was married on Valentine's Day, and gee, you know, as romantic as that sounds, I find myself far more interested in almost anything else that is going on the face of the planet. And finally, the Oscar nominations were announced this week, and Tom Hanks and Jodie Foster are in a heated competition in the Academy's controversial new category, Best Retard. All right, that's it for now. Thanks, folks. See you next week. Thank you. Thanks. I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the fake news. Well, there's good news this week from strife-torn Ireland, where a historic peace agreement has just been signed. Gee, I wonder if anyone will celebrate by drinking. Former Interior Secretary James Watt was indicted this week for still having a large light bulb-shaped head. A stock market rally pushed the Dow Jones Industrial Average past the 4,000 mark for the first time ever. I have no idea what that means. Was O.J. Simpson high on speed the night of the murders? Absolutely not, said defense attorney Johnny Cochran today. And a simple test of any of O.J.'s blood found at the crime scene will prove it. And O.J. pal Al Cowling said this week that in looking for the truth in the O.J. Simpson case, he sometimes talks to a picture of Nicole Brown Simpson, something that in the past would have gotten him killed by O.J. To illustrate the point that their client is running out of money to defend himself, O.J. Simpson's lawyer said this week that if he had to do it over again, after killing his victims, O.J. would now rob them as well. That one you find troubling? We went to quite a bit of trouble to get our next guest on Weekend Update. I'm not sure this is legal, but here, with an insider's view of the O.J. trial, Simpson juror number 4.
Hello, Norm.
Hello, ma'am. What are your impressions of the trial so far?
About what?
About the trial.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't been paying much attention.
To the trial?
Yeah, it was interesting for like the first 10 minutes. But since then, it's just blah, blah, blah. Once I thought I heard my name and I looked up, but they were just talking about blood or something. Oh, there's this one guy who always pays attention. He writes everything down in these little notebooks. But the rest of us got mad at him always shushing us, so he stole the notebooks and threw them out.
So what do you do while the trial's going on?
Oh, well, I've been reading a lot of books. I read O.J.'s book, Complete Waste of Time. I heard all that stuff, you know, and one woman, she brought in an Etch-a-Sketch. We passed that around. And sometimes I see how high I can count up in numbers in my head. That's about it.
Well, have you come to any conclusions about whether O.J. did it?
Hey, that ain't none of my business.
Yeah, it is your business.
What do you mean?
Well, you get to vote on whether O.J. is guilty or not.
No.
Yeah, that's what you're there for.
Oh, I guess I better read O.J.'s book again.
An anonymous O.J. juror, ladies and gentlemen. If owners use replacement baseball players, hot dog vendors have vowed to go on strike. Boy, those owners are screwed now, huh? They'll never find other guys who can sell hot dogs. I don't think they'll be able to. Dr. William A. Moffat, the world's leading authority on the Dead Sea Scrolls, died this week at age 62. The cause of death? The curse of the Dead Sea Scrolls. This was Colin Ferguson's first week in prison. Ferguson has reportedly dismissed his cellmate, and from now on he will be acting as his own bitch. New medical research shows that men and women have different food cravings. Men preferring meat and women preferring sweets. Scientists trace this back to caveman days, when men had to go out and hunt for food while women sat on their fat asses eating chocolates. Well, last week on an episode of Chicago Hope, doctors used leeches to help with the reattachment of a patient's ear. Here, with an editorial, is our host, George Clooney.
Thank you, Norm. How low will Chicago Hope sink? I mean, leeches. Who writes this crap? Thank you.
George Clooney, everybody. All right, thanks, buddy. Washington Power twosome Mary Madeline and James Carville are expecting their first baby in July. No one knows if the baby will be a Democrat or a Republican, but doctors are sure of one thing. It will be weird looking. The richest girl in the world, billionaire Athena Onassis, celebrated her 10th birthday this week. What's it like to be the richest girl in the world? Well, to give you some idea, at the party, they had 2 cakes. Congress has been battling over budget cuts in Medicare. Now, here with a report. For people with no attention span is Weekend Update correspondent Kevin Nealon. Kevin!
The battle over Medicare is not only being fought in Congress, but in Congress as well. Hey! Talk of congressional cuts in Medicare is raising concerns from both old and young people, like people the age of Pamela Anderson of Baywatch. For some older people, most medical care is covered by Medicaid as well as by Medicaid. They're afraid one minute they'll have coverage, then the next minute, bam! No coverage at all. Then you have the younger folks like, well, Pamela Anderson of Baywatch. Or let's say Pamela Anderson of Baywatch, who pay big Medicare taxes each year. Hey, over here. And they realize Medicare won't be available to them in the future. But here's the important point. So please, pay attention. I'm talking about Medicare. I'm talking about Medicare, folks. Congress says hopes for achieving a balanced federal budget are impossible without big reductions in programs such as Medicare and even Medicare and also Medicare. My time is up. Thank you for paying attention regarding Medicare and big reductions. Back to you, Norm. Norm? Hello?
No, Jesus. Oh, thank you, Pamela Anderson. Kevin Nealon. Kevin Nealon, everyone. The Mafia announced that they will drop their time-honored greeting of gently kissing each other on the cheek this week. But as for shooting people and stuffing them in the trunks of cars, full steam ahead. An intoxicated man was decapitated by a moving subway train this week. after he fell off the platform while trying to show off for a woman he didn't know. The stunt worked. The two will be married in June. And finally, due to a change in policy, Amtrak employees will no longer be able to kick homeless people out of Penn Station based on the way they look. From now on, they will have to go solely on urine stench. Well, that's it. Thanks, folks. See you next week. Oh, my God. Thank you. Thanks. I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the Fake News. Well, there's good news this week from strife-torn Ireland, where a historic peace agreement has just been signed. Gee, I wonder if anyone will celebrate by drinking. Former Interior Secretary James Watt was indicted this week for still having a large light bulb-shaped head. A stock market rally pushed the Dow Jones Industrial Average past the 4,000 mark for the first time ever. I have no idea what that means. Was O.J. Simpson high on speed the night of the murders? Absolutely not, said defense attorney Johnny Cochran today. And a simple test of any of O.J.'s blood found at the crime scene will prove it. And O.J. pal Al Cowling said this week that in looking for the truth in the O.J. Simpson case, he sometimes talks to a picture of Nicole Brown Simpson, something that in the past would have gotten him killed by O.J. To illustrate the point that their client is running out of money to defend himself, O.J. Simpson's lawyer said this week that if he had to do it over again, after killing his victims, O.J. would now rob them as well. That one you find troubling? We went to quite a bit of trouble to get our next guest on Weekend Update. I'm not sure this is legal, but here, with an insider's view of the O.J. trial, Simpson juror number 4.
Hello, Norm.
Hello, ma'am. What are your impressions of the trial so far?
About what?
About the trial.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't been paying much attention.
To the trial?
Yeah, it was interesting for like the first 10 minutes. But since then, it's just blah, blah, blah. Once I thought I heard my name and I looked up, but they were just talking about blood or something. Oh, there's this one guy who always pays attention. He writes everything down in these little notebooks. But the rest of us got mad at him always shushing us, so he stole the notebooks and threw them out.
So what do you do while the trial's going on?
Oh, well, I've been reading a lot of books. I read O.J.'s book, Complete Waste of Time. I heard all that stuff, you know, and one woman, she brought in an Etch-a-Sketch. We passed that around. And sometimes I see how high I can count up in numbers in my head. That's about it.
Well, have you come to any conclusions about whether O.J. did it?
Hey, that ain't none of my business.
Yeah, it is your business.
What do you mean?
Well, you get to vote on whether O.J. is guilty or not.
No.
Yeah, that's what you're there for.
Oh, I guess I better read O.J.'s book again.
An anonymous O.J. juror, ladies and gentlemen. If owners use replacement baseball players, hot dog vendors have vowed to go on strike. Boy, those owners are screwed now, huh? They'll never find other guys who can sell hot dogs. I don't think they'll be able to. Dr. William A. Moffat, the world's leading authority on the Dead Sea Scrolls, died this week at age 62. The cause of death? The curse of the Dead Sea Scrolls. This was Colin Ferguson's first week in prison. Ferguson has reportedly dismissed his cellmate, and from now on he will be acting as his own bitch. New medical research shows that men and women have different food cravings. Men preferring meat and women preferring sweets. Scientists trace this back to caveman days, when men had to go out and hunt for food while women sat on their fat asses eating chocolates. Well, last week on an episode of Chicago Hope, doctors used leeches to help with the reattachment of a patient's ear. Here, with an editorial, is our host, George Clooney.
Thank you, Norm. How low will Chicago Hope sink? I mean, leeches. Who writes this crap? Thank you.
George Clooney, everybody. All right, thanks, buddy. Washington Power to some Mary Madeline and James Carville are expecting their first baby in July. No one knows if the baby will be a Democrat or a Republican, but doctors are sure of one thing. It will be weird looking. The richest girl in the world, billionaire Athena Onassis, celebrated her 10th birthday this week. What's it like to be the richest girl in the world? Well, to give you some idea, at the party, they had 2 cakes. Congress has been battling over budget cuts in Medicare. Now, here with a report. For people with no attention span is Weekend Update correspondent Kevin Nealon. Kevin!
The battle over Medicare is not only being fought in Congress, but in Congress as well. Hey! Talk of congressional cuts in Medicare is raising concerns from both old and young people, like people the age of Pamela Anderson of Baywatch. For some older people, most medical care is covered by Medicaid as well as by Medicaid. They're afraid one minute they'll have coverage, then the next minute, bam! No coverage at all. Then you have the younger folks like, well, Pamela Anderson of Baywatch. Or let's say Pamela Anderson of Baywatch, who pay big Medicare taxes each year. Hey, over here. And they realize Medicare won't be available to them in the future. But here's the important point. So please, pay attention. I'm talking about Medicare. I'm talking about Medicare, folks. Congress says hopes for achieving a balanced federal budget are impossible without big reductions in programs such as Medicare and even Medicare and also Medicare. My time is up. Thank you for paying attention regarding Medicare and big reductions. Back to you, Norm. Norm? Hello?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, thank you, Pamela Anderson. Kevin Nealon. Kevin Nealon, everyone. The Mafia announced that they will drop their time-honored greeting of gently kissing each other on the cheek this week. But as for shooting people and stuffing them in the trunks of cars, full steam ahead. An intoxicated man was decapitated by a moving subway train this week after he fell off the platform while trying to show off for a woman he didn't know. The stunt worked. The two will be married in June. And finally, due to a change in policy, Amtrak employees will no longer be able to kick homeless people out of Penn Station based on the way they look. From now on, they will have to go solely on urine stench. Well, that's it. Thanks, folks. See you next week. Thank you. Thanks, I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the fake news. A Michigan man has been arrested for the murder of a co-worker following their joint appearance on the Jenny Jones show. Jenny Jones says she's very upset over the incident. How upset? Find out on the next Jenny Jones. F. Lee Bailey said this week that if the defense only knew what Ron Goldman's last words were, they might be able to find the real killer. You know, if you ask me, Goldman's last words were probably, hey, you're O.J. Simpson. And Bailey insists he's talked to potential witness Maximo Cordoba. I have not talked to F. Lee Bailey, says Maximo Cordoba. Who's right and who's wrong? Find out on the next Cordoba. Some teenagers are snorting or injecting Ritalin, a drug prescribed to treat attention deficit disorder in children. Drug abuse experts warn that Ritalin can cause accelerated blood pressure, along with enhanced mental alertness, a surge of energy, and an increased sense of self-confidence. And remember, kids, those are bad things. Well, tests got underway this week to see if those new outlawed bullets are really as dangerous as everyone says. Well, in weather news, the South has been hit with a record number of tornadoes this month. Now, a lot of viewers don't understand what a tornado actually is. So here to explain is best-selling author of You May Be a Redneck, comedian Jeff Foxworthy. Jeff.
Thank you, Norm. Thank you. If you have wind swirling around you at 140 miles per hour and lawn chairs flying about, you might be a tornado. If cumulus and nimbus clouds dissipate when you're around, there's a good chance you're a tornado. If you're an extratropical funnel comprised of warm, humid air conflicting with dry air, causing a cone-shaped swirling cloud that periodically touches down and tears a brutal path wherever it hits, there's a chance you may be a tornado. If people see you and run, there's a good argument to be made that you could be characterized, not unfairly, as a tornado. If you were in Enid, Oklahoma in February 1960, and when you finished your destructive rampage, 26 people were left for dead, you may be a tornado. If you look in the mirror and see this, you...
Hey, Jeff, now, those are really funny, but hey, why don't you give us a redneck joke, huh? Like, you know, if your family tree does not fork, you may be a redneck. One of those.
Well, Norm, that was last year. Right now I'm focusing on promoting my new book, You May Be a Tornado If, which is in its third printing and has hilarious jokes like the ones I just told you, plus a whole lot more.
Well, good luck there, Jeff. Thanks a lot for stopping by.
There you go, Norm. Thank you.
Jeff Foxworthy.
Tornado.
According to a controversial new biography, Elizabeth Taylor likes her lovemaking loud, rough, and frequent. Coincidentally, that's also how she likes to eat. Oh no, OJ has struck again. How about that? Not a good thing. A recent study shows the number of sexually active teenagers is leveling off at 53%, and another study shows the number of teenagers who tell their friends that they are sexually active is holding steady at 100%. Here we see LaToya Jackson wowing the crowds in St. Petersburg, Russia. Of course, in Russia, wowing means to disappoint or disgust. The state of New Hampshire is on its way to becoming the first state to ban the use of lions, tigers, elephants, and other exotic animals in circuses. Officials also plan to change the state motto to New Hampshire, where the circus really sucks. Well, here at Weekend Update, we like to hear what ordinary Americans have to say about world events. So here with a point-counterpoint discussion are Frank Dippy and Hank Doodle. Hey, how are you, fellas?
Doing fine, Norman.
Let's get it to it, Norm.
All right, fellas. You know the rules. You have 10 seconds to get your point across. Now, here's your first topic. The first 100 days of the Republican Congress drawing to a close. Have they delivered their contract with America? Frank Dippy, you have 10 seconds.
All right. 10 seconds. Got a lot to say. 100 days. This is going back to the... It's as simple as... Okay. Bill Clinton got the... Let me just say that. All right. Make no mistake. All right. Out of time.
Okay, Hank Doodle, your rebuttal.
Okay. I was just talking about this to my bleeding heart liberal brother. So I sits the guy down, I look him straight in the eye, and I says to him, I says to the guy, I says, he's right there, I'm right here.
All right, fellas. Well, let's move on to the next topic. It's Oscar time. Best Picture category. What do you think, Frank Dippy?
So many terrific. Pulp Fiction got the. Let's start with the Shawshank. Got the. But okay, one thing about the gum, you got. Okay. Brando did not want to show up because of the Indians. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, focus. Gotta think here. It all comes down to the. That did not go well. All right.
Okay, well, Hank Doodle, the floor is yours. Best Picture.
An old school buddy of mine is in the academy. I don't normally do this, but I called him up, and I says to him, I says to him, put him right on the spot, and I says to him,
All right, well, the O.J. trial is the high-priced defense team giving O.J. his money's worth. This is a complex issue, so I'm going to give each of you 20 seconds. Frank Dippy.
Okay, now look, I'm not looking to ruffle any feathers here. It's just, let's start at the top here. Okay, what Papagino's gives you, I'll forget that, getting sidetracked. Anyway, Georgino was fooling himself if he thinks anyway, I said to the guy, I said to him, oh, that's his thing. All right, okay, gotta hurry, and here comes the buzzer, and
Okay. Look, I think the 20-second thing might have been a mistake there. So, Mr. Doodle, for your rebuttal, I'm going to give you 4 seconds. Go ahead.
Well, I says to him, I says.
Hell? Now, fellas, I know you're both huge college basketball fans, so in closing, why don't you tell us who you think's going to win the Final Four?
Okay.
So many teams.
Give it to
the ball. You got,
okay, on an airplane.
And I says to him, I says to Dick back there.
That's enough. Frank Dippy and Hank Doodle, everyone. Here they are. Well, newlyweds Tommy Lee and Pamela Anderson had their first argument this week. He wants kids, while she wants fake kids. And finally, well, it's official. There you go. Michael Jordan is leaving baseball to return to basketball. It is unclear whether the media will now refer to him by his old basketball nickname, Air Jordan, or his more recent baseball nickname, Senior Crappy. And that's it. Thanks, folks. See you next week. Thank you. Thank you. I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the news. This week in South Africa, Winnie Mandela was removed from the new government by her husband, President Nelson Mandela. A curious Bill Clinton later called Mr. Mandela to find out how exactly you go about doing something like that. In medical news this week, scientists report there may soon be a vaccine for drug addicts, which completely eliminates the craving for cocaine. They caution, however, that the vaccine is extremely dangerous, highly addictive, and costs $10,000 a gram. This is the only known photograph of terrorist Tahia Ayash, Palestine's top bomb maker. To reassure you that there's little cause for alarm, however, you should know that this picture was taken by Palestine's top photographer. This week at the O.J. Simpson trial, the infamous bloody glove was finally introduced into evidence, and O.J. didn't help his case any by blurting out, "There it is, I've been looking all over for that thing." I was wondering. And a new shocker in the O.J. Simpson trial. This afternoon, Judge Lance Ito dismissed yet another juror, a 45-year-old African-American male, for failing to tell the court that he had once worked for Hertz Rent-A-Car and that he had once held Nicole Brown Simpson's glasses while O.J. killed her. Well, Monica Seles said this week she doesn't like to watch women's tennis anymore. Hey, join the club, lady, all right? In a bid to boost low attendance, officials at the New Jersey State Aquarium have announced plans for a $4 million facelift. In addition, flashing neon signs will be placed outside the aquarium, stating that the fish are, quote, all nude all the time. The #2 movie this week, Outbreak, continues to make news. It's a story of a virus that gets out of control, causing death and widespread panic. It's based on the true story of the Ebola virus. Because most viewers don't exactly understand what the Ebola virus is, we've asked comedian Jeff Foxworthy, author of You May Be a Redneck, to help explain it. Jeff.
Okay, if you're a small bacterial virus that travels through the air or blood and kills 9 out of 10 people infected within 24 hours of contact, then you may be the Ebola virus. If on your W-2 tax form you list as your primary residence the bloodstream of an African Zuzu monkey, by that fact alone, you could be ID'd as the Ebola virus. If the only time people can relax around you is when they're wearing a biosafety level 4 hazardous Ebola virus-proof spacesuit, then you've nominated yourself as a potential candidate to be elected as the Ebola. If you're a Playboy centerfold and list as your turn-ons making people vomit uncontrollably and bleed out of their eyes and anus, then all arrows point to you being the evil. If you walk into a room and everyone says, "Oh no, it's the Ebola virus," then perchance there's a sound, blah, blah. If your driver's license photo looks like this, there's a bleep-blop E-virus. If you find yourself feeling jealous because the AIDS virus gets more press than you, then maybe the Ebola virus. If people see you and run.
Okay, I think we get the point there, Jeff. Thanks. Thanks for clearing that up. Jeff Foxworthy, everybody. Well, on a talk show recently, Joey Buttafuoco said of Amy Fisher, I hope she gets hers and dies in prison like Jeffrey Dahmer. And when she does, I will go out and eat cake. Moments later, however, he admitted, look, I'll be honest with you, even if nothing bad happens to Amy Fisher, I'll probably go out and eat cake. Last week, Duchess of York Sarah Ferguson visited the Big Apple and showed off her 14-pound weight loss. Hopefully, this will not interfere with her official duties of sitting on her fat ass all day long. Julia Roberts told reporters this week that her marriage to Lyle Lovett has been over for some time. The key moment, she said, came when she realized that she was Julia Roberts and that she was married to Lyle Lovett. The gold-plated typewriter of Ian Fleming, author of the James Bond series, will be auctioned off May 5th. Though in perfect condition, it does have one small problem. When you hit the carriage return, it fires a fishing spear through your head. So that's... Well, singer Willie Nelson, who was arrested recently in Texas for marijuana possession, saw the charges against him drop this week. A judge ruled the arrest had been illegal because police didn't have probable cause to search his car for pot. How about the fact he's Willie Nelson? This week, in New Jersey, Patty, a 4-month-old pit bull who had been beaten senseless by his owner, was given a new home. While his former owner serves 2 weeks in jail for the beating, veterinarians say that it will take 4 to 6 weeks until Patty is fully recovered and ready to eat babies again. Well, the magazine POV came out this week with a list of the best and worst jobs to have in the next century. Their 3 best were, in this order, multimedia software designer, management consultant, and interactive advertising executive. While their worst, for the 3rd year in a row, crack whore. All right, the boxing world is still buzzing after the release of Mike Tyson from an Indiana prison after serving a 3-year term. Here with a message for Mike is Weekend Update correspondent and my hero, Adam Sandler.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. Mr. Tyson, 3 years is a long time to be away from everything. So being one of your biggest fans, I figured I'd help you out and fill you in on what's been going on in the world during the past 3 years. Let's start at 1993, November 5th. Some guy from the bank calls me about paying back my student loan. I told him I don't have the money yet, and he starts saying how he's going to repossess my car and cancel all my credit cards. Then he says, are you a boxing fan? And I say, yeah. Oh, what does that have to do with anything? And he says, because I have some things to say about that guy, Mike Tyson. Tyson's the worst boxer I've ever seen. Muhammad Ali could kick his ass. Ali's daughter could kick his ass. And if Tyson ever got out of prison, I would kick his ass. Now, the car and the credit card thing, I understand he's doing his job, but the stuff about you, that was just uncalled for. Anyway, if you want to go ask him about it, he works at First National Bank, 325 2nd Avenue between 55th and 56th. His name is Sidney Crenshaw. Do what you gotta do. February 5th, 1994. My girlfriend breaks up with me and starts going out with a guy named Peter Evans. I ran into Peter at a coffee shop and I said, I hope you and my girlfriend are happy. Then he said, Mike Tyson sucks. I was like, what does that have to do with anything? Then he starts doing an impression of you. He was like, I'm Mike Tyson. I talk like a 5-year-old girl. I could never beat up Peter Evans because I'm a little pansy. Then he said some other stuff about you saving up for a sex change operation or something. I don't remember all the details, but Peter Evans might. He lives at 1197 Horatio Street. Apartment 4P, as in punch in the face. June 16th, 1994. A homeless man on the street asked me for some change. I give him $150. That has nothing to do with you, Mike, but I just thought America should know Adam Sandler is a damn good guy. March 6th, 1995. A big fat guy sitting behind me at the movies won't stop yapping.
Hey, Adam, we don't have time for all this. Sorry, we gotta get moving on.
No, all right, sorry, Norm. You are right. Hey, by the way, Mr. Tyson, this is Norm Macdonald. He's our new update guy. You'll love him. He's been telling the funniest jokes about you giving it up in prison.
Mr. Tyson, I'm not Norm Macdonald. I don't even know who Norm Macdonald is. I'm Kevin Nealon, and that's news to me. Thank you. Thank you. Hi, I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the news. Well, troubles continue for New York Senator Alphonse D'Amato. A week after offending many Japanese Americans with his impression of Judge Lance Ito, the senator entered a New York hospital complaining of mild chest pains this week. Attending physician, Dr. Hikuru Akosaki, examined the senator and found nothing serious, then performed a 6-hour rectal exam just to be sure. A bad week for the prosecution at the O.J. Simpson trial. Under intense cross-examination by defense lawyer Barry Scheck, LAPD crime expert Dennis Fung admitted that he may have contaminated the crime scene when he accidentally dropped a big bucket full of O.J.'s DNA. Dismissed Simpson juror Jeanette Harris revealed in interviews this week that the jury is torn by dissension and is already divided into two camps: those who think he is guilty and those who are really, really stupid. Israeli security forces have rounded up over 150 suspects in last week's suicide bombings. Suspects in a suicide bombings. Now, well, here's a hint. Look for the dead guys, and probably on the right track. A Cambridge, Massachusetts juror found City Councilman William Walsh not guilty of malicious destruction of property after he removed 2 dildos from a sculpture in the City Hall annex. Walsh's defense was that he was walking by, saw them, and said to himself, "Hey, free dildos." Look at there. Scientists in Japan have invented underwear for men with a special scent that they claim is irresistible to women. Let me tell you something. If you've got a woman's nose in your crotch, you don't need special underwear. I'll tell you that. Actor Arnold Schwarzenegger is vehemently denying accusations that he is the father of a 12-year-old girl living in Texas. You know, it's hard to believe, Arnold, especially considering that this is a picture of the girl. Well, Premiere Magazine's list of the 100 most powerful people in Hollywood hit the newsstands this month. In an odd bit of ranking, Demi Moore was ranked number 28, while her breasts were ranked 20 and 21. So that's okay, Wally. And now, here to discuss conditions in American schools is Weekend Update education correspondent, Mrs. Louise Inkstrom.
Thank you, Norman. I have been teaching grammar for the last 33 years. Period. I always make sure I have on enough red lipstick so I can look real nice for the 6th grade boys. Period. Now, I am going to keep this speech of mine short, although I am tempted to discuss the education system in this country, because it's going down the toilet, period. I myself have received I before E except after C some, quote, bad press, period, end quote. As if what I get paid isn't insult enough. Why, right now, in my district, our school board is meeting to discuss the ousting of yours truly. Now, just because I live with 27 beautiful cats, and just because maybe sometimes I don't like to mow my lawn, and just because maybe sometimes I take a grammar lesson a little too seriously, they all whisper behind my back. They say that I'm erratic, undependable, maybe prone to fits of hysteria, and maybe partial to an occasional fling with some of my more mature male students. Well, new paragraph, capital I. I'm here to tell you that they are wrong, exclamation point. I am not the problem, semicolon. In fact, comma, parentheses, between you and me, end parentheses, I work my little white ass off, period. There is something that those back hyphen stabbing school board idiots do not seem to be catching on to. And that underline is this double underline colon. I am union, I have tenure, and I'm not going anywhere. Period. Let the lesson begin. Let it begin. Let it begin.
Thank you, Mrs. Engstrom. There we go. Well, the most restrictive smoking ban in the nation took effect this week in New York, and already the city has gained over 9,000 pounds. At a press conference this week, Washington Mayor Marion Barry said he wants private businesses to provide 5,000 summer jobs for a district youth program. He also wants some crack. Gosh, Hillary looks pretty in this photo here, doesn't she? Never realized she was such a looker till I see her here in this picture. At Virginia Commonwealth University, a professor is being sued following revelations that he spanked one of his students. It was the student's parents who first became suspicious when they asked, "What kind of marks are you getting?" And she replied, "Big red ones on my ass." So... That's all for now. Good night. See you later. Thank you. Thanks. Hi, I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the news. Our top story tonight, this week in the O.J. Simpson trial. After grisly photos of the murdered Nicole Brown Simpson were shown in court, O.J. turned his head away and wept. It was at that moment that he realized he would never be able to kill her again. 3 weeks ago, the FBI released this sketch of the Oklahoma bombing suspect known as John Doe No. 2. And this week, they had new information. They were able to revise the sketch. "Now we've got him for sure," said one FBI spokesman, "just as long as he doesn't take off that hat." Washington, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry is currently enjoying a 10-day trip to Africa. He says he loves everything about the continent, but he really misses crack. For the 5th year in a row, People magazine has named John F. Kennedy Jr. one of its 50 most beautiful people. Meanwhile, Big Red Nose magazine has named Ted Kennedy one of its 50 faces most ravaged by drink. Well, this week we decided to ask some children about how they thought television news was gathered and made. And their answers were as surprising as they were delightful. So here, with her very own special opinion on the news, is a young person all the way from England, the little girl. Here she is.
Yes, I do know how the TV news is made in America. First of all, something does happen in the world, and then someone nosy makes a video of it. Then they do send it off to the police. And if there is a really scary story about a robber what chopped up a human baby and made it into a sausage, then they are very happy. And they say, yes, this is very good, and now it can go on the television. But what they like best of all is if President Clinton does do something wrong. And President Clinton is the king of all America. And he does have a nose like a clown. And a mouth like the back of a cat. And his job is to go jogging, be cross with the army, and to kiss chesty ladies and little poor children. And sometimes on the news they do have pictures of him and Hillary Clinton. And Hillary Clinton does have stuck-on teeth, and she does try to dress up like Princess Di. And she does look like a lady, but I think Hillary is really a man. And Hillary is furious all of the time, and she is only happy when she is playing with their little girlie, Chelsea. And Chelsea does look like the lion in The Wizard of Oz. And if President Clinton is not on the news, then they get his two worst enemies, and they are called Newt Stinkridge and Brush Bumbar, yeah. And Newt and Stink are identical twins, yeah. And they hate ladies what speak and men what kiss each other.
Hey, little girl there, try to stick to the point. You're supposed to be talking about the news.
All right, I'm doing it. And on the TV news, there is always a big desk with one man and one lady. And, yeah, I think they are married, yeah. And the lady must have very puffy up hair and teeth all in a straight line. Or she can be Chinese. Yeah. And the man is very sunburnt, and he does have a curly wig, and he does laugh at all his own jokes. And he does go, ha, 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 now in sport, somebody won something. And then the pretty lady does tell you one more small bad thing, like about a dog what got a pen stuck up its nose. And then they all laugh, and they say they'll come back later to tell you the same blooming stories again, in case you're too stupid to get them the first time. And that is how they make the news in the United States of America, okay?
All right, the little girl. That's good. Morena Banks. Hey, Morena. Well, in Buffalo, Wyoming, a truck jackknifed this week, spilling hundreds of sticks of dynamite on the I-90 interstate, though officials noted that there is absolutely no danger as long as you're protected by magic. Yeah, I wish I was protected by magic. All right. Actor Charlie Sheen is reportedly engaged to model Donna Peel. Friends of Sheen say they knew Sheen was serious when he took Donna home to meet the hookers. In stock market news this week, April's three biggest losers were Cantab Pharmaceuticals, Champion Enterprises, and Crapco, which manufactures crap. And also crap-related items, most recently Mariah Carey's Christmas album. And also in music news, the Black Crowes have announced that they will donate profits from a recent concert to victims of the Oklahoma City's bombing. Then the band will smoke a huge amount of pot. And now with a commentary on the TV season is SNL entertainment correspondent Ellen Cleghorn.
Thank you, Norm. Ladies and gentlemen, May 23rd will be the saddest day in the history of television because May 23rd will be the last episode of Full House. That's right. They're canceling Full House.
Ellen, are you all right there?
Yeah, I'll be all right. You know, you think with all the crap on TV that they would leave one or two good shows alone. But no! They have to go and take Full House away from us. I can't believe it. I'm still trying to sort it all out. Okay, Full House isn't just a show. No, it's a part of our lives. When I think back on the last 7 years, I don't remember the day of my college graduation or the day of my sister's wedding. But I remember the night Michelle lost her first tooth. And Danny Tanner lost his job. I don't remember the day I gave birth to quintuplets. But I will always remember when Stephanie lost her bike and Joey lost his job. Sometimes I don't even remember my own name or where I live, but I'll never forget the night that Becky lost her keys and Jesse and Joey lost their jobs again. Well, I don't really know about you, but I'm not going to take this sitting down. First, they took away Fantasy Island, and now Full House. What's next, Blossom?
Ellen, I think Blossom's canceled too.
No!
Ellen, honey, it's all right. Sweetie, Full House will always be in reruns.
Who are you?
It's me, it's Bob. I was Danny Tanner on Full House.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Come on, sweetheart. I'll get you a chamomile tea or something.
Ellen Claiborne, everybody. Well, New Yorkers were asked in a recent survey what they thought of the new slicked-back hairdo Princess Di displayed on a recent trip to the city. 38% of New Yorkers approved, 45% disapproved, and 17% said, "You stopped me for this? Now I'm going to shoot you." Due to expected cutbacks in funding for PBS's The Frugal Gourmet, has announced that he'll be changing his name to The Cheap Bastard. But finally, we will miss Howard Cosell. Howard once hosted Saturday Night Live 10 years ago, and oddly enough, he fit right in. Here is a moment from that show in 1985.
I'm as doomed can be, you know.
Unhand my nephew, I must say.
Saturday Night Live remembers Howard Cosell as a good sport and a good guy. That's the news. Good night, everybody. Thank you. I'm Norm Macdonald, and this is the news. It is now believed that in the months before the Oklahoma bombing, suspect Timothy McVeigh may have sold drugs. Boy, is he in trouble now, huh, with that... A deadly outbreak of the Ebola virus is said to be responsible for more than 100 deaths in Africa and a couple of really bad movies here in the United States. Well, in a questionable move by the defense team this week, O.J. Simpson demonstrated how to stab two people at the same time. A Labor Department study shows that the number of temporary workers rose to 2 million in 1994. And that study doesn't even include the most temporary of the temporarily unemployed, Kato Kalin. Now we'd like to talk to Laura Keitlinger and find out what she'll be doing over the summer break.
Well, thank you. Hi. Thanks, Norm. Well, you know, June is coming up, so everyone I know will be either getting married or giving birth, which means I'll be spending yet another summer ripping up baby pictures and wedding invitations. And, you know, I sometimes wonder, you know, should I just force myself to go to these weddings, or should I turn on a pitching machine and let the balls hit my face? I don't know, it just seems like most of my friends from high school have long since tied the knot. And I'm getting older, so maybe I should think about hanging myself. And since most of my married friends have babies, I've just lost all hope for a normal conversation with them on the phone. Hi, Karen. Karen? Hi, Laura. Wait, Joshua wants to say hello to you. Say hi, Josh. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi. Josh, say hi. Hi, Josh. Listen, I've just taken a handful of pills. Can you get your mother back on the phone? Did you hear him? He said hi. I don't know, I guess I'm just not convinced that getting married and having babies is the answer. And I know that there are happy marriages, but it's because of some freak alignment of souls. And I have a friend who experienced such an alignment. She was the girl in grade school who went blind from sitting too close to the TV, and she married the guy in grade school who made a face and has stayed that way. In fact, I just got a picture of their lovely toddler who broke his neck from leaning back in a chair. You know, all right, now maybe they are a truly happy family, but families are never what they appear to be. You know, I was in the park and I saw a father playing catch with his 2 young sons, and then his wife came over, swore at him, slapped the kids, and threw their ball away. And that just hit me so hard because my mom never did anything with us.
Hey, Laura,
Yeah?
I bet this has some kind of happy ending, huh?
No, Norm, it doesn't. But you know what? Despite my tone, I do believe in love. To me, there would be nothing more gratifying than just lying next to someone that I've been with for years in a safe, sterile environment and allowing that person to do whatever it is he does into a laundered towel. And if I can have that, then maybe...
Maybe what?
Well, maybe marriage is in my future.
Well, I certainly envy the lucky guy that winds up with you there, Laura.
You do, Norm?
Yeah.
Aw, thanks.
That's all right. All right.
Thank you.
Laura Kleitman, everybody. Well, Gary Busey left the hospital this week after overdosing on cocaine last Friday. Doctors say Busey is okay and he should be back in the hospital in no time. Well, crime is down nearly 20% in New York City with only 384 murders so far this year. Only 384? You know, if you ask me, that's still 307 too many. Right. The Walt Disney Company has announced plans to build a $300 million hotel and entertainment complex in New York's Times Square. Construction begins next spring on their first attraction, Crack Horrors of the Caribbean. Well, the summer movie season is just around the corner, and one of the biggest releases this year is the new Batman Forever. Here now with his review is the original Batman, Mr. Adam West.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Norm. Hail, good citizens of Gotham. With Batmania sweeping the nation, what better way to celebrate than with my new book, Back to the Batcave. A virtual cornucopia of beloved Bat stories. For example, old friend, did you know that they don't let me wear the mask anymore? They've threatened to sue me if I appeared in public as the Caped Crusader.
Oh, that's great, Adam. Hey, how about that new Batman Forever movie, huh?
Here's an interesting Bat fact, old chum. Cesar Romero played the Joker, but you know he never shaved his mustache. He's dead now.
That's great. Hey, what about Val Kilmer, you know, the new Batman?
I wanted to play Uncle Batman. He would be an older, distinguished gentleman, much like yourself, Commissioner Gordon, and he would help Batman fight crime. Didn't happen.
Look, Adam, are you going to talk about the new Batman movie here?
Excuse me, Commissioner Gordon, I have to go.
Adam West, ladies and gentlemen. Adam West. All right, well, in Russia this week, Boris Yeltsin...
Evildoers beware!
Oh, my God.
It is I, Batman.
Hey, Batman. Hey, what happened to Adam West, wasn't he?
You mean millionaire Bruce Wayne? Why, he's at a board meeting at Wayne Industries.
Yeah, right. Hey, Adam, seriously, you know, you're not supposed to be wearing that mask and cape in public. You know, somebody's probably watching.
Let them sue me, Norm. If you persist in calling me Adam, I'll be forced to use the bat ray on you.
Oh, that...
It's here on my belt. Don't worry.
No. Really, they'll sue you.
I say let them, Norm. Then we'll see who the true Batman is. I'm Batman. Val Kilmer isn't fit to wear my bat tights. Do you hear me, Val? Do you hear me? Ah!
Holy, not taking your medication, Batman.
Robin, is that you, my ward? Help me.
Yes, Adam.
I don't know where I am.
I've come to take you home.
Where is home?
The Batcave.
No, I'm afraid of bats.
I'll take care of you.
Thank you, old chum.
Adam West again, ladies and gentlemen, and the other guy, Burt Ward, is with him. The American Academy of Pediatrics has released an updated list of unsafe baby products. Topping the list this year is the really, 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 really high chair. Well, last Friday in Washington, D.C., the city's elementary school students pledged to stay drug-free as a gift to their moms on Mother's Day. Meanwhile, D.C. Mayor Marion Barry got his mom a great big box of chocolates. And now, here with a Mother's Day message, Weekend Update's own, and my hero, Adam Sandler.
Thank you. When we think of Mother's Day, we always think of flowers and candy and taking Mom to dinner, you know, nice things. But tonight, I thought we should pay a little respect to some moms who don't have it so easy. Single moms. This year, there are over 8 million single mothers out there in this country alone. 8 million women who have to act as both mother and father. One special day a year just isn't enough for these brave ladies. Call me a feminist, but if you're looking for heroes, I'd say these women have Jordan and Gretzky beat by a long shot. But you know what's weird is no one takes the time to take care of them, make them feel special. Not just as mothers, but as women. Beautiful, beautiful women. So I'd just like to say to all you single moms out there, when you're feeling discouraged, like it's all just too much for one girl to take, little Adam's here to make everything all right. That's right, Mama. I'm gonna make every fantasy come true. That man who walked out on you had to be crazy, baby. What with your body looking so right. But you don't have to be lonely tonight. You know, Mama, I hear you like to give your kids ice cream. Well, I like to eat ice cream too. But I hate eating it out of a bowl. Maybe you want to tell little Adam where to eat that ice cream off of.
Oh, jeez.
What?
Adam, this is getting a little inappropriate here.
Wait, Norm, I'm getting to the good part. Turn out the lights, single mama. Mother's Day is here. Put away those diapers, pretty darling. Take off that girdle and brassiere. The kids are fast asleep, pretty mama. Time for the adults to get naughty. You look so hot in that terry cloth robe. Let it fall to the ground, oh Lordy. 'Cause I'm your single Mother's Day present, baby. And I can go all night long.
I'll take a big bite out of me.
Turkey-lurkey tactic.
I'll make sure to wear a prophylactic.
Turkey-lurkey lie.